are. How's it going? Heisenberg going. I don't know how to speak English right now.
Is your meat?
What?
Hello.
That is not okay. That is not okay. That is not okay. Okay, yeah, my name is Irene. How is it going, everybody? Totally not yammy. Totally not yammy. I don't know where that came from. But we're here, and we got Vaush versus Demonmama again. Sort of. We'll see like how much Demonmama really wanted to versus Vaush. Yes, because that's a verb now. How much she wanted to versus him. That's how the verb is conjugated. What? This is not awkward. This is not weird. Hey Vamps, hey everybody, meow, meow, meow. So yeah, we're gonna do this, upright. If I can find my timestamp, that's the important thing. Where did I put the timestamp? I don't fucking know. Where did I put my timestamp? Oh, I think I remember. I think I might know where the timestamp is. Yes. Okay. Here, let's find this. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention, for any of you Bird Brains fans, you like panels, you like debates, you don't like dumpster fires, right? And you remember Bird Brains. You remember when we used to do panel streams that were somewhat responsible, somewhat, community-minded, and definitely conscious of not doing harm by turning the lives of marginalized people into a goddamn game show, complete with a shitty game show host, right? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm a shitty game show host. I don't know. I don't know, chat. But like, yeah, we're gonna be bringing that back. Obviously, with all the drama, it was really tough to like, even know who I could trust to bring on at the time, because everybody was basically, there's a bounty on my head. So you bring someone on, and there's every chance that they're just gonna be a Dylan Plant, and like, you know what I mean? I don't know, chat. There's just a lot that can go wrong when you're dealing with people that you can't necessarily trust, and when there's such a big perverse incentive for people to go after me. But I think I've got a lineup that you're gonna enjoy this week. And we're going to be talking about some really important issues, such as platforming, such as Lauren Southern's ban from Twitch, and what we can do in the future to make this space a little bit better, a little bit less toxic, and fight all of the fucking sussy bakas out there trying to fuck shit up. Because when we watched Politically Provoked yesterday, what we were seeing was kind of the inverted image of Bird Brains, right? Everything that I had tried to accomplish, everything that I had tried to do on that platform, you see Politically Provoked doing the opposite. And should you be surprised? They're Fash adjacent, right? So, and that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a Fash adjacent, astroturfed organization like Politically Provoked who can get lefty guests for some reason. For some reason, they have relationships with supposedly leftist streamers, and I gotta fucking question that shit, right? Anybody that goes on there, anybody that works with them, like, are you really a leftist? Because if you are one... You're not... I'm trying to do it without ad homs, trying to do it without ad homs, trying to do it without ableism. It's unwise. It's unwise. You're making an unwise choice, and you're being used. That's what I would say. And that's assuming the best. That's me being in incredibly good faith and not like, assuming that you know what you're doing, right? Or that you don't care what you're doing, right? Or that you're just following around, the money and the clicks and the clout, right? It's a fucked up organization, and you saw exactly what they tried to do. They set up a panel to hurt trans people. And I contrasted that with the way I had handled the land back issue when that came up on Bird Brains, where I kind of set the panel up to not fuck over First Nation people, right? And there is a difference in how these things can be run. I don't think that we have to give up like panel shows. I don't think we have to give up Twitch. But I think that if you really believe in this stuff, now is the time you're going to have to fight for what you believe in. You can't just go with the path of least resistance anymore. The path of least resistance will lead you to places that you don't want to be right now. So this is not the time to go to sleep. This is the time to stand up and fight. And we do have kind of a victory against Lauren Southern in that there's a 14-day, hiatus that her Twitch stream will take. It's also, not great because that's only 14 days. But I don't know, 14 days is a decent amount of time. Anyway, where was my timestamp that I'm looking for? There it is. Okay. Where is timestamp? Where is timestamp? I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, I got the timestamp. It's right. It's right next to the thing. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, today what we've got is we got a Demonmama stream, and Demonmama came back for a couple of streams with Vaush, Denims, Xander Hall. Yeah, this one's just Vaush, Denims, and Xander Hall. I think she also did a little bit of the Vaush, the Planned Parenthood, charity stream. So she came back, and during the stream, she ended up actually doing just some. Why I'm not an atheist. This is interesting content. Actually, never. I've never really known much about Demonmama's spiritual takes. What would you call them? Did you call it a spiritual take? I don't know. Metaphysical. They were just say metaphysical. Okay, 6:50 is around where the timestamp begins. Let's give it a try.
Here we go. All right, everybody. We ready?
Are we ready, everybody? Can we muster the weird champs? Listen, I'm gonna ask you, okay? This is a very serious question, chat. If we need to, can we muster the weird champs? Is that possible? Are we gonna be ready if we need to muster some weird champs? Like, you never know, chat. Like, this is the one thing that Demonmama has taught me. This is the one thing I've learned from Demonmama, is that if you want to keep sussy bakas out of your stream, you got to be able to muster the weird champs. So we don't know what's going to happen today, chat. I've been catching the eye of some very, very sussy bakas that they're really worried when they hear me say, "Come get your dude," because they're like, "Who's gone down this time? Who did she get this time?" And I've scuffed up a few of their projects, a few of their long-term projects of entryism. I have. What is the word? There's a word. It starts with a B. Besmirched. I don't know. It's not besmirched, but besmirched works. We'll say besmirched. I have besmirched some of their impeccable projects. Some of their like, think of these, chat, as classic cars that they have restored and they have shined up and they've kept them really clean and really shiny and really beautiful. And I just come by and just kind of wreck that for them, right? And they're like, "Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to see it. It hurts to see it when shit gets no-commed." But that's what you're gonna have to deal with, all right? Because I see you, okay? And I know what you're up to.
We fucking ready?
Are we fucking ready? Let's turn her up. Let's turn her up.
3 hours, 2 minutes in. Perfect. Okay, here we go, everybody. Are you ready? It's time for us to shift gears. We're going to review Vaush's thoughts on NeoPronouns, and I'm going to offer good faith critique. And
okay, so we got some good faith critique here on NeoPronouns. Vaush has made another take, apparently. I wasn't aware. Wait a minute, what the fuck is this? Han's gender Twitch panel and then binary. Oh, is that on Vaush's stream? No, I can't tell. I don't know what I'm seeing. Maybe this is another Demonmama stream. Wait, did she do the Han's gender panel? Phantasmophobia, not an atheist, critiquing good old Clout Daddy himself, which, you know what, look, I'm encouraged by it, okay? I'm gonna look at this, I'm gonna go into this, chat, with optimism. I'm gonna go into this as a Demonmama optimist, okay? Thinking that maybe she's made a change, maybe she's seen some shit, maybe she wants to be her own mama for once. Maybe she wants to call her own shots. She did go on that Clout stream, okay? She absolutely did. But she's maybe trying to temper that behavior with some criticism, some independence. And I am completely in favor of this, chat. I love to see it. I love to see it. Not that I like, just understand. Like, I'm not saying I just want to see her hit punch Vaush in the nose, like, social media wise. No. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? Vaush has some good takes. Vaush is right about some things. Vaush gets some things right, alright? I will admit that, okay? A spicy take, right? I don't think he's all bad, but I think there's a lot of fucking troubling shit in his rhetoric, and for somebody like Demonmama to kind of be attached to Vaush without being critical, that really undermines her, core essence, like what she came to stream for, right? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can only be as good as your Clout daddy or Clout mama will let you if you're completely sucked up to that Clout nipple, right? And I see Demonmama maybe trying to individuate here. At least that's what I'm hoping for, chat. It could be a lot of different things. Let's check it out. I haven't watched the beginning of this, but like, I'm guessing that's what this is that she's done a lot of content with Vaush, and she wants to make sure that people know that yes, when Vaush gives a take that I disagree with, I'm gonna let you know how, and she's probably not gonna blow Vaush up or anything like that, but she's gonna, let her viewpoint on this matter be known. So let's take a look.
Before anybody gets mad, I just spent hours playing with Vaush. I've critiqued Vaush in the past. Vaush is fucking poggers, okay? I really like Vaush, and I love that we get to joke around. I have a great time with him. So regardless of that, just remember, this comes from a place of very, very good faith. You know that.
Look, I think this is a healthy relationship for streamers to have. I want to see more of this, okay? Just because you agree with somebody, just because you're friends with somebody, doesn't mean that you have to bite your tongue when they give a take that you got a problem with. I want to see this be okay, especially with people like Vaush, because we saw what happened with Professor Flowers and Demonmama. If you're watching, what was your take on the Professor Flowers Vaush debate? I don't think I've heard that yet. I would love to know, like, how what you thought about that, because I was really disturbed by the way that Professor Flowers got jacketed. Got absolutely jacketed as something that she's not, okay? If you want to disagree with her on, black nationalism, black separatism, fine. But when your disagreement becomes a cancellation, especially when you're Vaush and all you do is bitch and moan about cancellation and you turn around and do it to Professor Flowers, fuck you. And, Demonmama, I'm wondering if that's a fuck you will join me in. I will challenge you, Demonmama, if you really want to assert yourself, if you really want to be your own mama, if you're really a demon and not a minion, then let's hear your Professor Flowers take. I would love to hear that. I appreciate your NeoPronouns take. I appreciate you asserting your independence. I appreciate you kind of renovating the relationship that streamers can have, because this is an important thing. There's a lot of these kind of relationships where you just do not hear the criticism of the person orbiting. Oh, sorry, she doesn't like that word. I'll find another word for it. I'll just describe the relationship some other way. I'm sorry, Demonmama. Listen, I don't know. I'm mixed on that, right? Because, saying orbiter, that's kind of implying that she didn't do it herself. And she did. She did. She absolutely made her own name. She absolutely carved her own path in the beginning. She got in over her head against Destiny, and she needed resuscitation after DGG fired the torpedoes at her. Yeah, we watched that too, didn't we? The Destiny versus Demonmama, it was Destiny watching Demonmama's absolute depressing state of Twitch politics, and just being really bad faith with her. So yeah, I feel for her, and that's why I stood up for her when Destiny came on my stream. It's a shame that she could not do the same thing for me when Dylan Burns came on my stream. But oh well, them's the breaks.
I hope you all know that. Okay?
I can't hear it, but I'm gonna have things to say about it anyway.
Oh, I'm sure you will. That's okay. Yeah, Vaush has lost a lot of weight. He's looking fucking good. I think
Vaush looked fine before, but yeah.
he looked good before too. I'm okay with heavier set people, but some people like to lose weight, and it can be good for you depending on your bodily needs and whatever.
You believe that Demonmama likes Professor Flower's VODs? Wait, do you mean like likes on... Do you mean likes or do you mean likes? Like, wait, no, that's the same thing. Do you mean like clicked like, or do you mean like enjoys?
I'm also a gender abolitionist. I'm a gender ascensionist. I got my own views. I'm a gender ascensionist.
Powerful shit, Demonmama, powerful shit.
All right, we ready? Are we ready, everybody? Can we focus? Can we fucking focus? Let's do this.
I mean, I have ADHD, but I'll try my best.
It really is. It really is a testament to
sitting
the
down.
ferocity of his death roll that all these...
Somehow the cinematography of this is great, you know? Like, we start off, you see Vaush's legs, Demonmama sets up the stream, and then he comes and sits down. It's like, there's something like, I don't know, chat. It's like he's sitting on her or something. I don't know.
Scratches ended up being...
Let's go. Okay, yeah, I'll stop stalling.
And long.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, thank you, Hans. I had a lot of fun coming on. Thank you.
Okay.
The more you mention, the more concerned I get.
Wait, was Vaush on the Hans of Harkir panel? It was like about gender, and it was like all cis people or something. I heard about this. I heard this. There's a really shitty Hans of Harkir. Hans of Harkir is another, irresponsible panel host that has brought on Genocide Denialist, has, just basically is a subsidiary of the Twitch Clout networks, and, that is his strategy going forward. Hans, as somebody who's been there and done that, I don't know. I just hope you never feel like having to assert your independence, because that's going to be a real rough breakup, okay? Let me just tell you, that's going to be a real rough breakup. Trying to break out of that shit if you ever want to do, if you ever want to run your own show, right? But, yeah, it's kind of like the Mafia. Once you join them, once you benefit from their raids and, their, the cross-pollination there, and stuff like that, it is really hard to pull out. It is really hard to change your mind, right? But,
It's earlier on stream.
Uh-oh.
Did you know Pigeon's been...
But yeah, I didn't realize Vaush was on that trashy panel. This was like with Eris and I can never pronounce their name right. Carlin Borsinko, and just, I don't know, I've heard bad things. We might have to review that panel, chat. We might have to review that panel.
Down there the whole
In fact, we might have to do a Hans of Harkir special sometime, just to, like, illustrate, I don't know, maybe we should just do, like, a video on each of the platforms. Do a video on the Hippy Dippy, do a video on the Prime Kai panel, do a video of Hans of Harkir, anybody else who's relevant now, right? It might be a good thing to just give my YouTube audience the lay of the land as far as the panel scene on Twitch, where it came from, and where it's going, and how it's getting worse, not better.
time. She's right out of frame.
That's cute. Pigeon is so fucking cute.
Pigeon and the bearded dragon are staring at each other.
Oh, damn. I like his new anime cabinet.
Wait, when did he get a bearded dragon?
That's pretty cool.
Right there.
Am I mispronouncing it? It's not Carlin? Karen. No, it's not. Yeah, Carlin, I think.
There. Just staring. Been doing it for hours.
Just cooling with his fucking slimes.
I think I see her. No, you see a pink shirt right
Queer
there.
liberation.
Lizard is here. You can see that. You can see Lizard. And
Lizard.
Pigeon would be right around here. Anyway, Alright. Do they want to eat each other? Yes, they do.
DM, would you ever go visit Vaush IRL since you live nearby? We have visited in the past. Vaush has come to... Well, Vaush hasn't come into my house, but Vaush has come to my place.
Be careful with that, Demonmama. If you let Vaush into your house, you know what I mean? Like, he has to be invited, is what I'm saying. He has to be invited, okay? Unless you're willing to, like, cover the perimeter of your living space with garlic, that might cause some problems. I'm just saying.
And
Chad.
I'm probably gonna hang out
just
with
saying.
Vermin soon, so.
I'm just saying.
They named lizard like you named rat. True!
Oh my god, why am I always doing the vampire jokes around vamps? It's pretty cringe. That's pretty cringe, Irene. That's pretty
They
cringe.
sell these cabinets at IKEA? Really? Wow. I'm surprised. Once in a while, IKEA does something.
Gee, you're too good for IKEA. Demonmama, you fucking... Listen, I never called you out on this, but when you called me a great value streamer, there was a bit of a classist flex there, okay? There was a little bit of a classist flex. Now, I don't think that she's living large. I don't think that she's like rolling in dough or anything like that. You know, she's not Vaush, right? But she's getting some, I don't know, dude. This is not where she came from, right? This is like, I don't think that represents where she came from. But yeah, no, like she's too good for IKEA now? What the fuck? You're too good for IKEA?
Yes, for sure.
See how we can turn that right around on you?
Sure they do, 100%. Yeah.
It's not hard.
All right,
Anyway,
let's see.
reflections on the panel. That was a good time. I had a lot of fun. Hope you guys understand the point that I was trying to make. Right now, kids being cringy, 14-year-olds being cringy on Tumblr, not exactly a big deal. But you gotta think about the worst case scenarios. Okay? You gotta think
The
about
worst
things
case
that are
scenarios.
getting
What
a
is the
little
worst
money.
case scenario?
You gotta think about.
Professor Flowers establishes an ethno-state. What is the worst case scenario, Vaush? What is your worst case scenario? What are you talking about, dude?
About corporations pandering, you know? I want gender abolished, not expanded. What if you got like, yeah, the Zay Zim Happy Meal?
Oh no! Oh no! Here we go, chat. Here we go.
What if the only way to destroy gender is by expanding it
Yes!
until it pops?
Yes! Yes!
What if that's the only way? That's my first thing. Let's continue.
From McDonald's or whatever.
Who cares?
I just think there are
So wait.
ways to invent.
Okay, before we go any further, I'm gonna give Vaush the Vaush treatment. I'm gonna do a play-by-play. Pause Andy every 5 seconds, okay?
Wait, you mean you're gonna pull an NCC?
Who cares? What's the problem with the Z-Zim, it's Happy Meal? What the fuck is wrong with that? In fact, they already do this. They ask for what toys you want. And I know they still have a binary, but they still let you ask now. They don't just assume. They ask you. They say, hey, which toys do you want? And usually now, they don't even do 2 separate toys. They do the same toys for everybody. Because they realize that, wait, people actually like things, and Fortnite is liked by girls and boys. And everyone else. Let's continue.
Fence, and I just wonder if that's a direction we might be heading in. You guys know that, right? It's possible to invent offense. You know what I mean? Like, all of this is arbitrary. Gender is arbitrary, blah, blah. But when a trans guy says, call me he, him, and you don't, and they get offended, that's not inventing offense. Because the hurt there is part of this massive and, like, ancient set of constructs that have been influencing him from, like, birth to now.
I got a
So
broken
it's
emote.
nothing he invented, you know? But
Hey,
guys, I'm gonna
Serenkitty.
keep it 100.
Thank you very much for the thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Serenkitty, and thank you so much.
Broken emote. You might want to get White Nervosa on that.
Sorry, I missed the my Streamlabs is still glitching for some reason. I think I just need to fully switch off
You're on
Streamlabs
Streamlabs?
eventually. Thank you so much
Yes.
for the raid.
Good call. Good call, Demonmama. Get off that
billion
shit.
% with you. 100
Streamlabs
real
is
ass
trash.
100 per million %, okay? I gotta say, I feel like there's a decent possibility that a lot of the, like, young people discovering their identity who are getting offended that the world isn't respecting their NeoPronouns might be happier right now if they'd never heard about NeoPronouns. You know what I mean?
Dude. You know, I can't help but feel that a lot of kids who think that they're trans right now would be happier if they had just never learned about being trans and had just continued living their life as the gender that they're accepted as currently. Come on. This is what happened last time. The last time we engaged with the neopronoun discourse, it was all of the rhetoric was easily applicable to trans people. It is always. Because if you accept the validity of trans people, then with very few exceptions, you must also accept that the binary is deeply flawed and that it doesn't cause harm to identify however you like, because self-identity is our ability. It is our right. We have the right to assert our identity.
Okay, that's something crucial, okay? And I'm going to expand what Demonmama just noticed there. What you're noticing, Demonmama, and forgive me for, jumping in here, but you're noticing that Vaush has a right-wing aesthetic, by which I mean he judges things with a right-wing gaze. I hate to say it this way, but in a way, as much as he considers himself a de-radicalizer, there's a certain de-radicalization job that he hasn't quite completed yet, right? And he would say that he's stronger without completing that, right? He says that, this is my ability to talk to people across ideological lines. This is my ability to pull people in from the right, from the center. I'm gonna give it to them in their framework. But what he doesn't realize is that he has internalized that framework, or rather, maybe he internalized that framework at a very early age and still hasn't, deconstructed it. But that's what you're noticing, Demonmama, is that your clout daddy, your dude is looking at things from a fundamentally right-wing point of view. I would say that, 70 to 90% of the problems with Vaush's takes come from this specific phenomenon, right? And because people around Vaush like you don't really have the ideological wiggle room to make that, put a cost on that to him, basically what Vaush has done by inoculating himself against cancel culture, by saying everybody who disagrees with me, they're just Vaush bad, is he's limited the ability of his community and the greater online left to give him feedback, right? He's insulated himself from that. And that insulation results in shittier takes, in less accountability, and in a disconnection between Vaush and the people that he's supposedly fighting for. And that's why you end up with shit like the Professor Flowers debate, right?
There wouldn't be some burning desire in them to be called some other neopronoun. It might be they learned it and then they wanted it, and now they're being told that it's as bad as transphobia to not.
I don't think anybody does that, though.
Be addressed in that way, and now they're hurt.
Okay, I don't want to address this, by the way. I am. Look at me, everybody. Feast your eyes upon me, okay? For just a second, fucking feast your eyes upon this fucking face. This is the face of a fucking queer, okay? There is no way. I live every single day of my life as a fucking queer, okay? I have met so many people who use neopronouns, and I have met probably one person who has ever gotten mad, ever, about their neopronouns not being used. Most people who use neopronouns are, like most people who are trans, exhausted. And so when people misgender them, when people don't use their pronouns, they just suck it up and they live their life. So this idea that there's this plague of people freaking out because somebody didn't use bun self or something, it doesn't exist. This is inventing somebody to get mad at. It's not a problem. And even if there was, so what? How would you feel if every single day you said, "Hey everybody, my name is Vaush," and then immediately nobody called you Vaush and everybody called you
Irish Daddy? Yeah, how would you feel, Vaush? How would you feel if people didn't let you rebrand? If they were just like, nope, you're Irish laddie. You're Irish laddie, you were Irish laddie, you're Irish laddie, you're Irish laddie. And that is, granted, I am not, Xanderhall once came close to comparing this to dead naming, which it's not, obviously. But that, what I'm saying is that, that is a order of magnitude lesser than what we're dealing, what trans people have to deal with, right? And it would still be annoying. It would still be really annoying. I don't think Vaush would be able to take it. Google Public Universal Friend. That was back in the 1700s. Definitely. Yeah. non-binary people use neopronouns the way before they them pronouns saw widespread use. I actually didn't know that. It's because of the VOD. I'm not sure if he would let her speak without interruption in a debate. Good question. Good question.
I don't know, Hassan. Just because they could. Because they thought that was a better name for you. Wouldn't that be kind of shitty? It's the same thing for gender.
You look like a Hassan to me.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fucking weird? Wouldn't that be weird if somebody introduced themselves to you as, hi, my name is John. And then they said, actually, can I see your birth certificate? I want to make sure you're actually John. What?
Yeah, it says Johnny here. It says Johnny here on your birth certificate. So I'm going to call you Johnny.
Yeah, you seem like you might be a Steve. More of a Steve. Doesn't that seem a little weird?
Oh, hey, if she gets to smoke, I do too. Okay,
I don't know.
Listen.
I don't think that's a very good argument.
Wait, can somebody tell me? Is she at least on the vape now? Is she? Can we get her? Can we get her some vape clove or something like that? Like, I hate to see her smoking cloves. I don't know. She can do whatever she wants. She's a grown ass woman, but like, it just hurts. It hurts. Yeah, as a former clove smoker.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. One Western millennial.
Like, it fucks you up.
Let's continue. People do that with lolcow.
Are there? Hey, chat. Is there a clove e-juice? Like, can you get vaporized clove? Is that a thing now, chat? Can you get an e-juice cartridge with clove? Is that a possibility? I don't know. I have not fucked with cloves in years and years and years. Like, I used to smoke them at the golf club, though. Yeah.
Sometimes, yes. And sometimes it's really, really mean-spirited. And other times it's in good humor. It's a lot. There's a lot of ways you could go into this. I don't think that's a good argument.
Can people here at least acknowledge there's a possibility that's happening to an extent? People
No.
who say I don't agree, you think that's not happening at all. I think that's like a delusional perspective.
Nice.
That's a delusional. I would find it. Find me the people. Find me these militant neopronoun users who are canceling and destroying and hurting everyone who doesn't agree with them. What are you talking about? Vaush opened this segment by saying that they're 14-year-olds on Tumblr who might grow up. He already shot his own argument in the foot by saying that right now it's just 14-year-olds. So what harm is he talking about here? It's an imagined harm. I don't agree with this. Yeah, I don't agree with this. Yeah, there might be some TikTok, but who cares? TikTokers get mad about all kinds of things. We have an entire type of TikTok that's about making fun of Karens, people who are freaking out about nothing. Yeah, freaking out is a bad, freaking out at people for no reason is a bad thing. As it turns out, you can hurt people if you freak out at them for no reason. But where do we see any indication or any evidence whatsoever that the Z, Zer, Bun Self people, its pronouns people are like bad about this? Huh? Where? I've never seen it. The person I know, the most prominent person I know.
You can get vape. You can get vape clove. Nice. I might have to try that. No, not really. I better not try that. I don't need to go back to those days, chat. I don't need to do that.
No, who uses its pronoun.
Getting misgendered is no reason. Okay. There's a little bit of that. So here's what the thing is with Vaush and Demonmama. Okay, they're compromised. And I would say that she's compromised specifically because of her relationship with Vaush. Like, I don't think that her compromise is even from her. I don't think if she was really being her own mama, she would find herself compromised this way. But yeah, getting misgendered is not freaking out on somebody for no reason. It should not be compared to a Karen, right? Because, like, you know, Demonmama, if we want to start weaponizing that Karen discourse towards any woman who's upset about anything, do you see where that leads? Oh, she's just a Karen. Because I didn't use her pronouns or something like that. I mean, just come on. But, like, she's a little bit compromised. She's having to make this argument to, in some ways, Vaush's audience. And because Vaush has made this compromise in order to make himself more palatable mainstream, and, you know, theoretically be able to do some kind of de-radicalization work, which, if you want to know about that idea, Vaush's idea that his praxis is de-radicalization, that his particular programming is designed to take people from the right, from the hard right, and make them not so hard right? That was gone over in the debate between Brianna Joy Gray and Talia Lavin, right? I don't put any stock in Brianna Joy Gray's take on that. Like, her take was Vaush's take, that, like, de-radicalization needs to go on through, like, social media, through content creation, right? And while you might say that, like, I don't know, maybe Contra or somebody, you know, like, her videos had a way of unmasking the alt-right that might potentially show somebody who's somewhere along the pipeline, oh, hey, this is what you're heading to, maybe you don't want to be a part of this, right? Like, it was, I don't think it was made to do that. Real de-radicalization, as Talia said, is something that takes a long time, is done on a person-to-person basis, and is best done by the friends of the radicalized individual. In other words, if you have a friend who went balls deep into the alt-right and got buried in Kek Pepe, right? And they express some kind of, you know, desire to not, you know, be part of 4chan culture anymore, and they don't have any friends that are outside of that, you know, that is, like, if you want to, if you're brave enough, if you feel up to it, maybe engage in some de-radicalization work there. And the biggest thing you could do is to help them rebuild their bridges, help them understand what they did, what they said that probably pissed people off, and apologize for it, and see who's open to opening those relationships, right? And then once you get them connected to enough non-racists, then, you know, theoretically they can change, right? That's what real de-radicalization looks like, right? Not Vaush, like, kind of virtue signaling towards the right here is what it seems like. There's so much that Vaush does to make himself, to make his views acceptable to a right-wing audience. And I would say, Vaush, you're compromised. And Demonmama, you're kind of compromised too. You're less compromised, and I think you're overall a good influence on Vaush, but it is limiting. Listen, when you're in this kind of relationship with another creator, you can only be as good as they will let you. You can only be as honest as they will let you, okay? And that's the problem. That's the problem with this Clout game that people like Demonmama play.
Doe.
It's a Boomer Mama argument, okay?
Never freaks out at anybody. So I just don't agree. I don't think that this is a thing. Louis Vuitton says, Vaush is the one guy who said most people on the internet don't have arguments, they just merely gesture to imagine hypocrisy. Yet here he is getting mad over someone who doesn't exist. I agree. Well, he just but see, that's the thing, Comrade Owo. This is why I don't like this argument, because he simultaneously says it's not a big deal, but then he says it is. Do you want to know my hot take? I've only watched the first 4 minutes of this so far because I've been a pause Andy, but I just think that Vaush thinks that pronouns make him feel a little uncomfortable. Okay, we'll see if I change my mind as this goes on. But okay, I get it.
Okay.
But that's the same argument that conservatives makes for trans people. That doesn't mean that they're right. You know? He did in this conversation simultaneously, like not simultaneously, subsequently say it's not a big deal, and then it is a big deal.
Maybe you don't think it's a big deal, and that's fine. It's totally fine to believe that. But to say it's not happening at all, that there's no way for people to...
But you could say that about anything. You could say it about anything. You could say almost anything happens. And it's true. Almost everything does happen. If you
Why is this part 2? Do I need to watch part 1? Good question. So, part 1 of this was before the Kink at Pride discourse. So this was maybe one of the first things that Demonmama, really visibly, differentiated herself from Vaush on. And that was part one. We'll probably go over a little bit of that too, since I don't think I did a video on the disagreement about NeoPronouns, right? But yeah, that's the part one. I don't know if you need to watch it. We will cover it though. Yeah. I don't know if I need to say this, but like, Demonmama, if you're gonna try to put on airs of classism against me, just understand that part of class is education, and you might want to learn to pronounce words like subsequently correctly if you want to put on those airs, which, as a leftist content creator, there's really no reason for you to do. But,
Really,
chat, when you get mad, sometimes you forget what your core values are. You know what I mean? Sometimes you let that stuff slip. You're so angry, you just do something that's like not really characteristic of who you are. And Demonmama definitely did that when she got mad at me. She actually made common cause with Samantha Banana, part of the Lauren Southern moderation team. And I'd like to tell you that like this was the first right-wing thing Samantha's ever done, but it's not. Everybody knew who Samantha was. Everybody knew where Samantha was from. Everybody knew what she was about. Demonmama debated Samantha and come at loggerheads with her a bunch of times. But for some reason, because NCC bad, Demonmama felt it was appropriate to, you know, basically recruit Samantha to organize a brigade in her chat. Like, there were people in her chat offering my docs, okay? And then she tried to turn that into, like, she's trying to figure out who's offering her docs. That's like stalking. That's like her doxing people. No, Demonmama, that's like me trying to figure out what fucking Twitch streamers are stabbing me in the back to the point where they want Nazis to find out where I live. Demonmama, certainly you can understand dealing with that kind of shit, because you've had to deal with it yourself, right? You've had to deal with Nazi brigades against your own channel and website. Like, you should understand that. But yeah, it culminated, of course, famously in her saying that maybe the guy that stalked me, maybe the guy that wrote a creepy ass song, maybe the guy that said that we were a couple when we never were, right? Really scary dude, right? Maybe he did nothing wrong. Just maybe he did nothing wrong because she hated me so fucking much. This is some dark side shit. This is some like Star Wars or Kingdom Hearts, you know, one of those series where, you know, it's like, come on to the dark side, you know, embrace your anger, embrace your hate. She totally did. She totally did. And those were the results. I would say that is a distortion of who Demonmama is. I would say that the real Demonmama is like locked in a janitorial closet somewhere, tied up, and that this version of her is holding it captive, much like Mad-Eyed Moody in that Harry Potter book, right? You know, it's kind of shitty when you know that those aspects of unacknowledged, you know, self end up taking over in times of stress, right? I'd hate for someone to get stuck in that position, you know, for an extended period of time, and that's why we're really hoping that Demonmama will find it in her heart to do the right thing and apologize for saying that my stalker did nothing wrong. Apologize for utilizing a Nazi bitch collaborator like Samantha Banana collaborating with the collaborator, Demonmama. I don't know what that makes you, but it's not good. And you need to apologize. I am a very forgiving person when people come to me in honesty, in good faith. And I don't think that those things that you did are really representative of who you are. I would love to see you put some daylight between yourself and those cringe fucking takes, Demonmama. Those cringe takes, okay?
look hard enough, you can find the most... Time Cube exists, guys. Come on. Anything. You can find anybody who says anything on the internet if you're looking for it.
To invent offense as long as the thing they're inventing is a new gender, I don't agree with that. I think that's silly, you know? I disagree. I think it gives them an outlet for gender expression they wouldn't have had before. Okay, first of all, you can express your gender in any way, regardless of what gender you are. That's kind of the point, right? Like, even if you're a cis guy, you should be able to express yourself however you want. That's kind of what I'm aiming for here. But additionally, like...
Oh, look, we got people in here advocate. Look at this. People want... Vaush, talk about dough. Hey, why don't you motherfuckers, I know probably none of you are listeners, why don't you guys fucking leave dough alone? Can you motherfuckers do that? Can you motherfucking vultures fuck off for 5 seconds? Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, given that Vaush's takes on these matters aren't that much different than Irrelevant, who recently, I don't know how else to say it, but abused Doe. Like, brought Doe on in much the same manner that I was brought on to Irrelevant stream, and absolutely tried to jacket Doe with some bullshit, right? Tried to cancel Doe, basically, for existing as someone with NeoPronouns, right? That was what Irrelevant does. I don't think that what Vaush does is much different. And Demonmama, you're starting to see the contradictions of your very existence on these platforms, right? In that your connection to Doe, which I think comes from a place of friendship and camaraderie and solidarity, to your relationship with Vaush, which comes from a very different place. And while understandable, given what you went through with Destiny, it is the thing that is compromising you and not allowing you to be your own mama at this point.
All right.
Okay, music combo. How do you feel when people
Pronouns aren't the same as gender, true.
argue using its pronouns is cringe because transphobes have used it to dehumanize trans people? What's your response to this?
Oh my
I was
God.
noticing this the other day on Discord and wondered how to argue against this.
People say this to me too.
Oh, ready? I'm about to give you the shutdown argument. Are you ready? This is the open and shut argument. People use he, him to dehumanize trans people. People use she, her to dehumanize trans people. Uh-oh, guess we got to get rid of he, him, and she, her too.
I mean, based.
It's a matter of agency. I have the right to ask you to use whatever pronouns I desire. I have the right to ask you to call me by whatever name because we agree, I hope, that identity is a matter of self-assertion. It's about, you could argue it's about consent.
Oh my God, Demonmama, I wish we agreed on that. There's a lot of people that don't get that though, unfortunately. Look, if you want to do some praxis today, go to my Alana versus Joe Rogan stands video, okay? And upvote that shit. Because we have got transphobes on that shit, like downvote. I've gotten dislike bombed, okay, on that. I probably need to put something out on Twitter, just like asking people for help with that, right? But yeah, my video got dislike bombed, and if you haven't liked it already, I would really strongly love it if you would go and do that. But like, yeah, when I saw that only 32% of the votes on that video were upvotes, it really struck home. Because I don't know for sure that it was dislike bombed, chat. That might have been just the result of YouTube search recommending that video to people who were looking for Joe Rogan and or Lana's name, right? So maybe out of those people that are interested in that topic, 2/3 of them are taking the transphobic position. So yeah, God, like it's so fucked up. Like I wish we were close to accepting gender ID, but when I see people like Irrelevant and his whole community trying to jacket me with being a blackface supporter, Doe with being a supporter of Batman gender, whatever the fuck that is, you know, like that, then like I realize how far away we are really from, you know, where we want to be.
You could argue it's about consent. Hey, oh, TGT, I gotta give you, hold on a second. Trans girl therapist, hold on, let me give you your fancy name.
Sussy Baka. That's what I would name TGT.
Trans girl therapist. Bam, let me give you your fancy name.
I don't know. I did videos about Xander Hall that I'm not proud of either, and that's mainly my problem with TGT. But like, yeah, as somebody that, in fact, Jesus Christ, yeah, I got no room to criticize you, TGT. I did kind of the same thing. I'm just like, not a big fan of it.
Name here. There you go. Bada boom. There you go. Now you got your fancy name. All right. Okay. Are it's NeoPronouns? You could argue that. You could argue that they're NeoPronouns, but I don't know about that. Yeah, it's really simple, music combo. Yeah, that is an obvious and amazing argument. And any trans person who's
Vaush is making an NB-phobic argument without being aware of it. He thinks that he is talking about people who are making up new genders, but by the current definition, that would just be NB people. Also, Vaush goes against Judith Butler's idea of Yeah, I would be surprised if Vaush has actually grappled much with Judith Butler, but, you know, I could be wrong.
experience.
I know Demonmama's at least aware of the concepts of that Judith Butler talks about.
Being misgendered will know that okay, let me tell you something. You want to know how most people engage with me? They see me, oh my god, I could scroll right now. I could give you all nightmares by scrolling through my comments section on YouTube. It's been really bad because I put out a video recently that criticized Lauren Southern, and so I have been getting hundreds of comments that are saying things like, this is clearly a man in an outfit, in a costume, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of toxicity towards Demonmama in the videos I've done. Her debate with RGR is the first and foremost one on my mind. Some of the comments are really good, really well thought out, you know, right? Some people watch that video and they learn something from it. They change their mind even, you know, in a positive direction. A lot of the comments are not. A lot of the comments are just like fucking DGG Demonmama haters, and they're fucking abusive and they're terrible.
Don't you mean he? Don't you mean he? In fact, I think
like, as much as she's done to me, I still hate seeing her get, like, you know, bad-faithed and lied about and, you know, turned into a scapegoat. Like, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Silax could tell you. I think I saw Silax arguing with somebody who insisted that to use he, him pronouns for me. Why? Because they want to dehumanize me, because they want to take away my agency. And yes, you could use it to do that as well, but they don't have to. You can use anything to dehumanize. That's why I would say, yeah. Is Exiliax dough? Yes, Exiliax is dough. Yep. Am I alone in thinking that people who use multiple pronouns never seem to be factored into this conversation? They aren't, because it's inconvenient to this type of argument. Anyway, let's continue. I want to keep giving Vaush a fair shake. No, a certain group of people on the internet don't like Doe. Doe has one of the most passionate and loving communities out there. A handful of people on the internet don't like it. That's it. That's all that it comes down to. There's a group of people on the internet. You all know who it is.
I don't think it's small. I mean, I wish it was small, but yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, Demonmama.
Is who fucking hate Doe. That's it. And they hate me too. They fucking hate my guts too. And it's just a personal grudge. Doe's community fucking loves the shit out of Doe. Almost everybody in this space has a great relationship with Doe. You want to know who doesn't? Look a little deeper there. Follow that shit.
God, she can't even say Voldemort's name.
Let's continue.
I mean, I understand why she doesn't want to. I understand. Like, the second... Like, I'm sure that, like... Listen, he's probably got people scanning her, VODs. Like, the closed caption of her VODs to, see if his name's ever mentioned. And he is just... Anytime he gets mentioned, anytime he got any excuse to do content... Actually, though, he said he wasn't going to do content on her. Didn't he say that? Chat. Have you seen the latest Destiny? So Destiny watched Demonmama's the absolute depressing state of Twitch politics, right? Basically his analysis was she's fallen off, like that she's like, you know, I don't know. He was trying to imply that she was like, you know, mentally unsound and therefore unfit to interact with, and that he banned her name on his Discord or something like that. We should call him a regressony to counteract that. Yeah, really.
We're busting out the gamer argument. Guys, how would you feel?
Would intentionally misgendering someone with neopronouns not also take away their agency?
If people had a whole set of gamer self, gamer ID shit that they expected you to respect, and if you didn't, they essentially called you like transphobes, and they...
I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't
hit you
fucking
with
care.
all the backlash and severity that transphobia...
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I hate...
So he's comparing, like, somebody's gender to what? Whether they like first-person shooters or, like... You know what I mean? Whether they're into speedrunning or, like, they're into, like, sandbox games? Like, I don't even know what gamer tags are. Chat, I'm aware of the existence of gamer tags, okay? I don't really understand, like, what, you know, what all is included in a gamer tag, right? But, like, I do think that, like, a trans person's pronouns represent a deeper connection to the individual, I would say, than the preferences, their gaming preference. I don't know how else to say that. It's almost offensive that Vaush would make that comparison.
hate to do this. I really, really hate to do this to Vaush, but this happened to Caitlin Bennett. Do you remember when Caitlin Bennett went onto a university and was like, don't you think it's weird that there's tampons in the men's room?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think that's weird? And then the person was like, no. And Caitlin Bennett was like, why the fuck, you know, like, why don't you care about that? And the guy was like, why should I care about that? But that's the that's the argument that's being made here, in my opinion. We'll see if it goes further. The idea that somebody might say gamer self, so what? Who cares? If they want to be gamer self, that's fine. If they have a freak out because of an accident, that's a totally different issue. These are unrelated things. There's this weird thing where people are afraid of being called a bigot. But guess what? Right-wingers already say, constantly, right-wingers say liberals and leftists are the real bigots all the time. Who fucking cares? They say that all the time. They say that Joe Biden is a Chinese communist. Who fucking cares? Like, really, who fucking cares? I'm sorry to hear that.
I feel like she's really... She is looking directly at the inherent contradiction in Vaush. The inherent contradiction that is Vaush. She is directly looking at it, and she still hasn't quite called it what it is. I don't know if she can. I don't know if she's allowed to. Demonmama, I would love to know how you feel about that. How do you feel about Vaush's inherent deference to the right-wing gaze? How do you feel about the fact that he's a little bit enthralled to the right-wing perspective, right? How do you feel about the fact that he's more concerned with his respectability and image in the right-wing gaze than he is with, like, solidarity? I mean, like, I would love to know this. These are questions I would love to know.
I'll see what we can come away from this. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, and if it's not and guess what? You can also do the good faith check, which you can see if they care about it that much. Because let me tell you this, Nazis, they're really, really attached to being a dude. I can tell you that. Nazis are super attached to being a dude. They're never going to adopt NeoPronouns because
I mean, unfortunately, not all Nazis are dudes, but yeah, I think I get your point.
NeoPronouns are liberatory in a direction that they don't care about. They don't care. So who cares? It's the same thing. Like, I had this conversation about Steven Crowder. Okay, so what if Steven Crowder dresses up as a woman and says that he's trans? Okay, cool. Sure, go for it, dude. Who cares? Go for it.
It's pronounced Vaush. Yeah, I had this Steven Crowder argument with R Relevant. How do you pronounce that? R Relevant. I want to stick a little bit extra on the like relevant. Like you gotta hang the when you say R Relevant's name. You gotta like relevant. Don't just say R Relevant. Say relevant.
For it.
Vaush.
Go for it. What? That's the world we're fighting for, is a world in which Steven Crowder, even Steven Crowder, can be trans.
if you really want to piss off a bad faith actor like Steven Crowder, who's doing that shit where, you know, he goes into like a curves, or he goes into like a Planet Fitness, and like, I mean, he's done this before, right? Like in drag, which he'll find any excuse to do that, and then, you know, grunts loudly. What all does he do? He's trying to illustrate the problem of self-identification, and he ends up just like not getting fucked with, which is kind of an own to what he's saying. He's saying this is gonna break their system, and it absolutely doesn't. Listen, what does it hurt me if Steven Crowder says, I want she, her pronouns? To say, okay, ma'am, how does that hurt me? Does that diminish my identity? Does that, like, I don't think it does. I don't think it hurts me at all. And if it really is that Steven Crowder is just saying this, you know, to be provocative, then eventually he'll stop. And he'll ask me to call him he, him. He'll get mad at me for using she, her, right? But there's some chance with Steven Crowder, honestly, like, listen, I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm going to try to be serious right here. I'm going to try to, like, I know how we all feel about Steven Crowder, but let me just say, if Steven Crowder one day came forward and said, actually, for real, I identify as a woman, the name I prefer is this, and she, her pronouns, please, like, that actually could happen. Like, there are a lot of signs that that's a possibility. Now, it's never good to speculate. We don't want to speculate on, you know, like calling Steven Crowder an egg probably is not appropriate, you know, especially if the person in question does end up transitioning, like that's an exceptionally bad look, you know, like to kind of have been, you know, peering into the closet before they're ready to come out, right? It's not right. But I do want to point out that Steven Crowder in particular is somebody that, you know, I could see maybe that there might be more to Steven's gender identity than he's willing to express currently, right? So yeah, you should be ready to do, like, you know, and it doesn't hurt you at all, even if the person's being a complete bastard. Even if the person is trolling you and, like, trying to make fun of, like, the best own for that is to just, like, yeah, come on in, you know, we'll call you the pronouns you asked to be called. And they're just going to be fucking mauled because what they want is some kind of freak out. They want to freak out, and you're not giving that to them.
Aw,
What if Steven Crowder's on Coconut Island with Vaush and collects all the pronouns while Vaush is asleep? Oh my god. I never thought of that. I never thought of that.
Nice ears. Probably both, but I think.
Well, as we all know, with cat girls, the human ears are the ones that come off. Chat. When you pull off the cat girl's ears, it's the human ears that come off.
TGT was referring to your cat ears. It's not just gamer self. It's gamer tag specific to an individual, and gamer tag self specific to that individual. Like if I wanted to be Javier self as my gender, you missed what he was aiming for. No, I didn't. Javier, if you wanted Javier self to be your gender expression, more power to you. That's fucking great. Yeah, fun self. Who cares? I don't care. Go for it. We already do this all the time. Okay, let me tell you this. You all, what do you all call me? You all call me Demonmama. You guys don't even know what my partners call me. You don't even know what any of them calls me. And it doesn't fucking matter because we are allowed to assert our identity as we are comfortable. Who cares? Let's continue. I wanna continue. I wanna continue.
Warrants. You know what I mean? Is gaming not a large part of people's identities? They're not even the same thing? Really? Why not? Can you just label a thing gender and then it's, okay, they're gamer gender. I don't know why labeling a thing a gender instantly means that it's a different type of identity that instantly gets more respect than any other type of identity.
What do you think about the second part of his argument? Well, where he's worried that not engaging in the Javier self thing would mean that you're transphobic or something. Well, I guess it would depend, right? Wouldn't we need to weigh that based on the context of the situation? If somebody said, hey, please, can you refer to me using my NeoPronouns? and then you refuse to, that would be
Chat, is my crunching too loud? Let me know. I can totally mute the crunching if the crunching is too much. If it's too crunch.
transphobic in the exact same way that it's transphobic to or at least rude and discriminatory to disrespect someone's agency. Look, transphobia isn't a magical category. The reason why we have categories like homophobia and transphobia is because we say that doing these sorts of things is particularly socially egregious. We recognize that denying somebody the right to be who they are is shit and hurtful and bad. That's why we have a term like transphobia.
Hey, Ghastly.
We describe a specific targeted type. I don't think it would be transphobia necessarily. I think you could probably make an argument that it is, but it doesn't matter. Like, that's not the problem isn't whether you're getting called transphobic. The problem is that somebody feels dissatisfied and you're making them feel dissatisfied in a way that you don't have to. Now, it is inevitable in our lives that there will be conflicts between people, but we can do our best to engage in good faith. Rioma says, your takes are on fire as always, DM. Thank you so much for standing up at the less acknowledged corner of the queer community. Also, I hope Murder Sundays becomes a somewhat regular thing. I agree. I totally agree. Striped Kidder says, my boyfriend actually said he hated his first name for the longest time and said he prefers his nickname, so we call...
This is it's like a VOD. It's a VOD from Demonmama. It's her last stream that she did with Denim's Vaush and was it just Xanderhall? I'm sorry, who was the other person? Let's not forget Xanderhall. Yeah, like it was a Clout stream that they did together after the Planned Parenthood thing. So
call him by his nickname. If it's disrespectful to use the wrong proper noun, why do people have issues?
I think it was her last stream. Yeah, she's taking a little bit of a siesta. Siesta? What am I trying to word? What's the word? Sabbatical? What is the word I'm looking for? It's definitely not siesta. She's not taking a nap. Chat. She's what is the word that I'm looking for? Anyway, she's taking a little break. I was trying to be fancy. There I go. I guess I am a value streamer after all. I don't have like that's good of a 3-week nap. Yeah, she's taking a 3-week nap. Yeah, she's just kind of recharging. She says she's got some new ideas and some new projects in the works, so she's probably working to get those off the ground. And just like she has been, to be real, she has been hit with so much bad faith. So much abuse, so much targeted harassment, and I don't use that word lightly, but yeah, ever since that debate with Destiny, she has been targeted for harassment, and it's a lot to deal with, so yeah, it makes sense that she'd need to take some time off.
With pronouns. Exactly.
Hiatus
That's exactly
works,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
My ex had a nickname like all through high school to the point I met him and still does. That is not his birth name, but that's what he's known as.
Yeah.
Super common.
Calls that to everyone. That's
Super common.
Okay. In the UK, we say the more you have problems with other people's gender and sexuality, it's because you can't accept your own. I mean, that's usually the case. Usually people feel insecure. They feel like if other people get to live their gender, well, then maybe they won't be adequate because they don't feel confident
Work moratorium. Yeah, I wish I could do one of those.
in their own gender expression. And to those types of people, I would say, please, explore your gender. Be
Yeah, no one deserves that kind of abuse. Definitely.
confident. Express yourself how you wish to express yourself, freed of the chains of...
And that's why I stood up for her when Destiny came on my stream to try to call her subhuman. I stood up to her for her. I wish she'd done the same for me with Dylan. That is the difference between me and her, though.
nonsense traditionalism. It's okay. It is hard to hear because this mic is a shotgun. Hi, Lonnie. Yo, I have ADHD and I gotta ask people's names all the time because I forget. I guess asking what their pronouns are again is too much of a stretch. No, it's not. It's like people do this all the time. People forget pronouns all the time. Who cares? Most of the time, it's not a big problem. It's only a problem when it's backed up by...
It's only a problem when the person doubles down, the way that Dylan Burns did when I asked him to call me she, her pronouns when he was introducing me to his audience, right? It's only a problem when somebody gets awkward, when somebody gets weird. And that's only a problem when we don't have solidarity in our own trans community, and you get people like Demonmama playing cleanup for Dylan Burns, right? Laundering his bullshit of misgendering me and doubling down on it. That's the only time that's a problem. Listen, cis people out there, if you fuck up somebody's pronouns, 9 times out of 10, like Demonmama says, they are just gonna try to correct you, and that's important, and they're not doing that to embarrass you, they're not doing that to call you a transphobe, they're doing that because if they don't correct you, your mistake will spread to more and more people, and pretty soon nobody's gonna be gendering them correctly. So it's an important thing to do, but it's kind of like, you know, a quick like in and out, you know what I mean? It's just like, all right, get it right, done, you know what I mean? We don't want to hang out there. We don't want to hang out in that space of like, I've been misgendered, because when I say that I've been misgendered, the implication is that like, I'm not performing femininity correctly. Now, as much as I'd like to say I'm over that and I don't care what people think, that's not true. I do. It hurts. And it's not a place I want to hang out in, right? So the correct thing for Dylan to do would have been just to, oh, she, her, Irene Geller, she, her pronouns, right? You know, it would have been that's just done, right? But he thought that, like, me saying something was an allegation of transphobia. He got weird with it, chat. Dylan got weird with it, and then Demonmama backed him up in that weirdness. That's fucking gross, okay? That is fucking gross.
Things like passing culture and other things like that, okay? Hi Xena. Also, yes, that is true. Fawn calls me mama more than my name. I never hear my legal name IRL. Almost ever. Almost ever. Sometimes, but very rarely.
Hey, they're gamer gender. Where is this happening outside of TikTok? I'll ban you if you keep making arguments like that. I literally said this. I literally said...
Why is TikTok the new Tumblr? Is TikTok what everybody bitches about now? Like, this is so cringe when like, I got this from Samantha Banana. If you didn't hear the other night, Samantha Banana came through, right? She came by my stream with this weird hypothesis that the different colors of hair that I've had on stream represent different personalities. As in, you've got dissociative identity disorder, but then she couldn't decide if I really had dissociative identity disorder or whether I was like faking. And it's like a meme that that teens on TikTok, like, you know, talk about their diagnoses and like try to come up with, like, you know, like treat them like Pokemon badges where, oh cool, you know, dissociative identity disorder, and that like the idea being that they're mostly faking. So it was like both that, like, I'm faking having a diagnosis, but that I'm also mentally ill, and I don't know what she was saying. It was pretty cringe, chat. It was pretty tinfoil hat. And that was when she got banned. That was when she finally... We play around with Samantha Banana because she's kind of a lolcow, and that was when we'd had enough of her shit. That was when we'd had enough of her shit. And just given like her support for Lauren Southern, her assertion that Lauren's turning a new page, despite the fact that the mod team itself put up the title on that stream that Lauren did, is transgenderism a mental illness? Like Samantha Banana, right? So when we talk about trans people stabbing us in the back, the first name that comes to mind should be Samantha Banana. And Demonmama only like a honorable mention, right?
Said, right now we're talking about like an incredibly like esoteric future, like maybe thing. We're exploring the
So right here.
But yeah, I would love to see Demonmama put more distance between herself and Samantha. Like she began that. She did treat Samantha pretty badly, you know, when she came in her chat trying to, you know, weird champ about Lauren Southern, right? She started that work, but what she really needs to do is apologize for collaborating with the person that she called a collaborator, right? And she didn't mean collaborator in content, chat. She was talking about a very specific type of collaborator, and I think she's right about Samantha Banana. Samantha Banana absolutely is a collaborator at the very least. But Demonmama, what do you call somebody who collaborates with a collaborator? That I would like to know.
Vaush has identified, we've identified the core problem. This is a slippery slope argument. It's a slippery slope argument because Vaush is afraid that the Zer people will look bad and in the future it will be cringe. I don't think that's a good argument. I don't think that's a good argument.
Idea. I'm not saying this is destroying our society right now. Yeah, but the problem is you could apply that logic to like being gay. No, you couldn't. You don't invent being gay when you turn 25 and learn about the term on the internet.
Yes, that is... Oh my god, learn gay history. That is literally the argument. Oh my god, it's literally, there are chick tracks about this. That has been a fundamental thing. Conservatives like lock down portrayals of gay people in media to this day. It is still restricted to display gay people because of the idea that if people encounter gay people...
Anybody remember what those codes are? There's a name for those codes. There's a name for those codes. I can't remember what they're the something codes. It's like somebody's name, right?
Then they will think that they're gay when they're not. That's what they say. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah,
the Hayes code. That's correct. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh god, chat knows. My chat is incredibly smart.
Pansexual was considered a made up sexuality not 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago. Come on. Come on. This is a better... There are way better arguments for this, Vaush.
Being gay is a sincere reflection of an existing tendency, okay?
How come Vaush always looks super sweaty when he's giving takes on NeoPronouns, right? He always looks like he's being interrogated. Like, they got the bright light, you know, like, I don't know, chat, I don't know. Like, I remember okay, no, sorry, I'm sorry, it was the Pride, it was the Kink at Pride debate. Like, right, the last time I saw Vaush this reflective, you know, right? The last time I saw, and it is hot in Seattle, right? Is it hot can anybody tell me, is it still hot in Seattle? It's hot down here. Demonmama sort of leaves the mark here. Yeah, it doesn't exist much anymore. But that's mainly for cinema. Oh, the Hays Code are mostly for cinema, so there's something different with, just watched enough old movies on the Internet Archive. There is a cutoff year where they all get boring.
There are not, like...
1932 or something,
87 hidden...
Wait, so before then you were allowed to portray homosexuality? Like, what was it done? I know that, like... German cinema, like that's one of the weird things, chat. This scares me so much. If you look at how progressive Germany as a culture was before the Nazis compared to the rest of the world, like in a lot of ways, cinema being one of them, Germany was leading the way of progress, right? And they went from there. Yeah.
Genders within the
He's overly nervous about getting canceled. God damn it. God damn it, Vaush. God damn it.
Human.
There are a literal infinite amount of hidden genders within every single human. Literally infinite. Gender is about expression, and no two people express gender the same way. This is why we look at gender the way we do. The way I know Vaush does. The way that Vaush argues about gender is not that there are a set number of genders, but rather that gender is a completely organic expression. So, what is he talking about here? This goes against everything else he argues. There are, in 100 years from now, none of the genders, literally right now, none of the genders that existed yesterday exist today, because gender is...
Oh yeah, and then what they turned the German film industry into, the triumph, what was it called? The Triumph of Will or some shit like that? What was that? Oh god, chat, does anybody know? Like, listen, the chat, we already know that the chat is smarter than me. What is that German film, the glorification of Hitler and the Nazis? Hegel, save us, Hegel.
Is as an organic social construct constantly being
the triumph of the will. Okay, yeah.
Actively and consistently changed. We all change our gender expression on a daily basis.
Actually, I was thinking about this recently. In terms of so chat, like, I feel like without realizing it, like, at least in American culture, like we've made some gains in terms of how we conceive of gender. God damn it. We've made some gains, you know, in terms of how we conceive of gender, and by that I mean that if you look at a movie from the early '90s, right, or earlier, and you notice how like men and women interact, you'll notice a huge difference, right? And I'm not sure if people are aware that this change has happened. I almost feel like by sort of drawing, like by showing that old stuff again, you can show, you know, sort of where we came from, and maybe show people that this is not somewhere you want to go back to. You know what I mean? Show people that like that there's something cringe about the gender binary as an enforced code. There's something cringe about the confines of gender, I guess, right? And I think if people start to see that, then it'll be less of a, you know, well, we're doing this for the benefit of the, you know, our trans friends. We're doing this for the benefit of, you know, a small subset of society, and they'll start to realize that the work that we've done in deconstructing the gender binary has benefited all of us, not just, you know, not just trans people. I think that there's a way to like kind of lock in these gains, because once people become aware of it, once people become conscious of it, I think that it's really hard to get them to go back in that cave again.
That are like yearning for expression.
Sorry about the noise, chat. I just have to open the window because it's like it's still hot in California.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do something in really good faith here. I think I know what Vaush is trying to get at here. I think what Vaush is talking about is people inventing essentially new rigid concepts of gender. But I don't think that's the way that most people are. Sometimes, you know, hold on. Let me see if I can find the
Wait a
cringe
minute.
image. Hold on.
Wait a minute. This has a direct parallel, okay? This has a direct parallel to the Professor Flowers debate, right? In that Vaush is afraid of progress going so far that it comes full circle. Now, chat, progress going so far that it comes full circle. What is that? What are we doing? What are we drawing, chat? What am I drawing? What is this? What is this? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What is the shape? Anybody? Which Lucky Charm shape am I drawing? Chat, what are we drawing? What are we doing? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What is this thing? What is this thing? What is this thing right here? Anybody say it? Gold star to the person that says what? Yes! Horseshoe theory. This is Vaush's horseshit theory, right? This is some bullshit. This is some lib shit. Vaush, this is the thing. Like, if, you know, if you don't want to get canceled for, I don't know, being a little edgy sometimes, maybe try developing some solidarity. Because if you have that with people, they will protect you. You know what I mean? And you're... I don't want to... I'm not buying into the infrared meme that Vaush is a rad lib. That Vaush is, you know, not really... Like I don't know. Like, there's some leftism that I think Vaush is lacking. Let's just say that, right? But I'm not buying into the premise that, like, this guy is just a complete fake and he's just a rad lib and he's just a plant and, like, no, nothing he says is real. No, I don't think that. I think that he realistically, you know, wants to pull ideology to the left. Now, whether his strategy is getting him there or not, that's a different question, right? But like, you know, that is like a rad lib tendency. That is some internalized, like, and I'll say right-wing shit, because we're not really talking about liberalism here, okay? In the sense of, you know, when we're applying horseshoe theory gender identification. I don't think that we're talking about liberalism anymore.
Let's see.
Vaush is a trad lib.
Okay,
Oh my god.
ready? Here we go. I'm gonna show you this. This is like the image that all of the people go to. Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can get the whole thing.
Purple horseshoe, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, okay, now I really want some marshmallow cereal. Oh, you know what though? Oh my god, I think I remember this. Okay, I never got that kind of cereal growing up, right? The only time I'd get to try sugary cereal or cereals with marshmallows or anything fancy like that, like, I call it fancy, I don't know if it's not really fancy, was at my grandmother's house, right? Because my grandmothers, they want to spoil the kids, right? The moms, they want to treat the kids right, the grandmoms want to spoil you, right? So if you say to grandmom, I like chocolatey cereal, grandma's going to get you some chocolatey cereal. The problem is that the chocolatey cereal at grandmother's house is the chocolatey cereal from the last time she had one of the kids staying with her, right? So you're gonna pour out that cereal it's gonna be a little bit stale. It's gonna be a little bit stale. It might be a little bit moldy. Grandmother, is this cereal moldy? Grandmother, this is from a year ago. What am I eating? Grandmother, what the fuck, right? That was the only time I got to try sugary cereal. Was when it was was old moldy sugary cereal that grandmom had bought my cousins. I don't know why she never got like the sugary cereal for me. But there was always my cousins, like when they had been staying at her house, which was 9 months ago or something like that, right? That's what I got to eat. So I never really got to try that stuff. In my mind, though, the sugary cereal, the marshmallow cereal is never like as good as I think it would be. Probably because when I tried it, it was like nasty, right? But it looks like it would be so delicious.
Here we go. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Here you go. Wait, that's not the one here. I want this in the new image. Here we go. Ready? Everybody's seen this, right? Everybody's seen this. Gay, bear, androphilia, lipstick lesbian, gynephilia, asexual, straight ally, scoliosexual, polysexual, pansexual, bisexual, autosexual, androgynous, genderqueer, gender binary, gender non-binary, hermaphrodite, intersexual, neutrois, transsexual, transgender, aromantic, gray romantic, lith romantics, demi-romantics.
Is it pronounced neutrois?
Romantics, polyamorous.
Can anybody tell me?
Okay? Like, okay.
The right wing is part of liberalism. Yes. Sugar is bad for you. Try a glutenless, starchless, carbless alternative. Yeah, that sounds delicious. It's basically candy plus milk. Oh yeah, and the best part is after you eat it, you got candy milk. That was always the best part, was the chocolified milk.
Okay. Some people look at this and go, oh my god, it's 86 genders or whatever. No, this is just people documenting different types of genders that they've encountered.
I'd say it's endemic to the online left.
There are an infinite number of genders. There will always be. It is a simple fact.
It's the online left, chat. The online left. Other leftists, not me. Other leftists, they're cringe. The online left. Online left.
That there is an infinite number of genders. And in fact, I think the problem is that we try to categorize gender in specific categories. That is part of the issue. This is why I pushed for taking apart the gender binary. Because
a lot of the criticism of a new concept of gender is that it's not natural, right? The right wing, the tradcon concept is that there really are only two genders, and all of this is just a bunch of gobbledygook, right? But I think they're wrong. And if you really take it back to, I don't know, what, Neolithic people, and you ask them what gender is, or, you know what I mean? These are constructs that arose due to division of labor. Really, right? And there's a correlation with, genital configuration, etc. But, I think there were less rules, not more rules, about, the performance of gender, if you go way back like that, right? So this argument, and also, it's an argument. What is it called? An argument? Oh my god, it's the one where it's appealing to tradition. Appeal to tradition, is that what I'm looking for? the appeal to tradition is a fucked up, argument to construct in the first place, right? So, but, it's even more fucked up when it's not even true. That's not even the tradition. That is something that arose along the way, right? That is not something that is endemic to humanity. You don't find, as someone famously said, a woman, you don't find a female in nature. Nature does not have a female. Nature has, I guess, organisms, individuals, right? And they can be classified in various ways according to their physiology. But we got to remember that those classifications are constructs, not naturally occurring phenomena.
I think that any attempt to try and categorize gender as like a bunch of individual things is not helpful. That we should embrace a model of gender that teaches us to be fluid, that teaches us to express ourselves as we desire and not lock ourselves into specific labels.
I'd say that if gender is to serve any function, it should take you closer to who you are, on the inside, not pull you further away. Yeah. Meow meow.
But that doesn't mean, but wait, Somniostatic, that doesn't mean that you can take it to be anti-neopronoun. That's a contradictory thing. If you believe that gender is infinite, then people have a right, they have the agency to assert their own identity. You understand? They have the right to assert their identity however they please. Not how you please, how they please. Even if you don't agree with the way that the categorization system goes, even if you think it's annoying, they have a right to express it that way. Some people identify relatively...
Oh, yeah, wait. The historicity, the cute dress. Yeah, we haven't seen that in a long time. I don't know. I thought it was a cosplay, chat, but I don't know the character that, I don't know. I thought it was an anime reference, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it was really cute.
Or effectively with the binary, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. You're allowed to do that. If you identify personally on a strong level with a binary, that's awesome for you. That is super awesome for you. Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that, trans girl therapist. Music Combo says, the way I interpreted Vaush's take is that he looks at gender as the social and personal norms attached to sex. And I don't think that's how he looks at gender, is it? Because I don't think gender is really attached to sex almost at all. It's attached by sex artificially, but whatever. I don't think that's an accurate assumption. I'm trying to be his good faith and steelman his position here. I don't think that he believes that social and personal norms are attached to sex. But whatever. He argues later on that it's bad to be bigoted against these identities, but these identities are different than gender? I don't know. I'm interested. Well, we'll get there. All right, we're going to get there. Let's get there. Okay. Well, I still think that's not very accurate, but let's continue.
Meow, meow.
I think explaining this is going to be like a 2-hour conversation. It's unironically transphobic to say those things.
Hey, DPNY. Oh, wait, I know who this person is. I know who this is. Wait a minute. I know who this user is. This is fucking DPico. Oh my god, what a cringe lord. He's like, debate Demonmama on this, Pepe La D. Looks like your wish is coming true, bitch.
It's the same.
Wait, what?
An Arco Soy. I've got you tagged in.
So if you don't know, Pepe La D is a reference to Destiny. What? Is she gonna debate Destiny? Does anybody know about this? Like, listen, I wouldn't blame her for just, like, never, like, interacting with Destiny again. Like, he's toxic as fuck, but, you know, I mean, you do you, girl. Is she debating Destiny again? I mean, you clapped him pretty good in the times that you've been on stream with him. I don't think you have anything to prove, but, you know, if you want to do that. What is up with the cat girl behind Demonmama? It's one of Demonmama's partners. I don't know, I think, their name was mentioned earlier. I'm not sure. Fawn. I don't know Fawn's pronouns though, so.
Chat, I only see your messages now. What two things? Being gay and oh wait, you weren't disagreeing with me. All right, never mind.
Oh, jelly. Wait. Are we talking about? Are we talking about Vaush's cat? Or are we talking about Demonmama's partner?
Rhodes. Let's see what Rhodes has to say. Person X, let's call him John. John finds out he's gay. John hasn't invented gay, but he has invented John is gay.
Hey.
All forms of self-expression are, in a way, an invention. Does that make sense? No, that does make sense. I agree with you.
Let's be real mean. No, okay, yeah. I feel like the gender language is becoming dogmatic on the left in a way that becomes politically indefensible. There are people in chat right now.
Okay, once again, this conflicts with what Vaush said just a couple seconds ago. He said that this is 14-year-olds on Tumblr, but now he's asserting that gender has become dogmatic. Dogmatic means, like, sacrosanct. That's ridiculous. You can't have both.
Now, who didn't get the gamer thing. You realize that a gender is just an arbitrary set of characteristics surrounding a collective identity, right? You could make anything a gender. You could do it to anything if you wanted to.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
nothing inherently more... If you go by Z-Zim or your xenogender, how is xenogender any
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sure. Real quick. I've gotten a request from Music Combo. Would you mind offering up your personal definition of gender or not right now? Okay? Here. Yes, I will. Okay, ready? Gender is a subsection of social expression, a personal expression, okay? Gender is something is a label,
so subset of personal expression
that we use to describe a part of ourself that correlates to potentially many things. It's like a name. It's like describing yourself as a fan of the Seahawks. It's like describing yourself as a gamer, oddly enough. Gender is used to help us indicate aspects of ourself that we hope to communicate to other people. And sometimes, that's my gender. That's my definition of gender. My definition of gender is that gender is a label or a form of self-expression that is, I'm fumbling on my words now, but I hope that makes sense. Let me try that again. I actually wrote this down because, are they social constructs? Yeah, I believe it's a social construct. I don't really think that gender can exist outside of a social construct. Hold on, I actually typed this up real quick. Hold on. I typed this up so I have a better worded one, because that's a really, like, that's
somebody in chat
wording.
saying I'm
like
microdosing gender.
Clumsy. Where did I put this shit? Oh, god damn it. Why do I do this to myself? Where did I put this shit? There we go. Here it is. I found it. Let me open this up real quick. Here we go. My current view of gender is approximately as follows. Gender is a factor of identity. Identity is how we distinguish ourselves from others and the world. Identity is highly personal and heavily reliant on context and history. Identity is not simply physical factors, though physical factors can sometimes become a part of identity. We can recognize that a man who ages is still the same man. His age has changed, but his identity has not necessarily changed. He is still who he is. Names are another factor of identity, one that we regularly allow people to change and address. Therefore, gender is a factor of identity.
Here's my take on gender and identity. Let's see if I can find this. Let me see. I got it written down somewhere here. See. 'Twas brillig, and the slivy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the burrow groves, and the mome rats outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird, and shun the fruminous bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, Long time the mengsome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And in an uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, his eyes aflame, came whiffling through the oh god, I can't read this. Tulgi, oh my god, I'm fucking, my Lewis Carroll pronunciation is not great. Tulgi wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the gut Jabberwock? Come to my arms, O beamish boy. O frabjous day, Calloo, Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slivy tobes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borough groves, and the moonraths outgrabe. Yeah, chat, a lot of this stuff is just purely functional. It's just purely to get us from one day to the next.
That should be treated
But
like...
hey, there's some things that are real, okay? So hold on to each other. Okay?
other factors of identity. There you go. Bam. Is that a good enough answer? Does that make sense? Everyone can, yes. Gender is a social, okay.
Gender is a social construct that defines norms unjustly on an individual. Identity is defined by the self and can express in a variety of ways and should not be pigeonholed. Her example uses maturity, which is an old medieval thought process. Meow.
Gender as it exists, like descriptively in the world, is a hodgepodge mess that mostly causes harm.
Listen,
but the gender...
Listen, I'd like to think that if somebody came along and stole the language right out of our mouths, that we could still find each other. Do you think so, chat? Could we still find each other? Could we still hold on to each other somehow? I'd like to think that there's something more than just words that we share. I hope I'm not just being, you know, a tragic optimist. I guess we'll find out, huh?
The model of gender that I push for is one that just treats gender as another factor of identity that we can use to better express ourselves and communicate ourselves to the world. And that means that it's your determination. What makes it different from other factors of identity like introvert? Well, an introvert talks about something differently. It talks about something different. But keep in mind that people self-label themselves as introverts. So you wouldn't describe gender as a social construct specifically related to sex? Descriptively, if we were to talk about how gender operates right now,
you got some language sense in chat. I mean, like, I understand that. Yeah, without that, we would be pretty fucking lost, wouldn't we? It would be a scary, scary place, chat. It would almost be like stepping through the looking glass or down a rabbit hole or something like that. But what I'm trying to say is that there's something in us that creates that language. And, that's where I want to connect with you.
You say it as gender is play, which...
Yeah, pre-verbally. Yeah.
Isn't that gender is play? Isn't gender is play Butler? Is that Judith Butler? Judith Butler? Yeah, is that Judith Butler as gender is play? And I tend to agree with that, but I don't use that word because because without having read it, without having read extensively Judith Butler's work, I feel bad stealing her word, but yeah. Gender is play, just like names are
play not in a sense of that it doesn't matter, but play in the sense of it's free, and you're free to define that part of yourself.
Play. They are a way that we play with each other, and play isn't meant to be diminutive. It's important. As it turns out, how we...
If someone would take away our language, we would develop a new form of communication. Exactly, yeah. Simply because it is necessary for survival, yeah. Were you ever in a situation where you didn't know what to say? Now imagine this is an extended state, yeah, performative. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Did she? Yeah, she didn't say play. She said like gender is performance, right?
Play socially. The way,
but I mean, same idea.
Is that we engage with each other.
I think Demonmama's got the idea.
It's super fucking important. Super fucking important. Where's the line between gender identity and identity? Here's the secret. There isn't. There isn't a clean line between gender identity and identity.
These are social constructs. You're looking for clean lines between these? Please, come on. This is fucking... Yeah, no, nothing's clean here. Come on. Do you think that language is real? You know what I mean? No, it's not. I mean, like, it's necessary. It's useful. Yes. You know, if it was taken away, it would be a fucking disaster. But, you know, when you're pointing to the moon, like, you're not... You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh God, what is the phrase? You're pointing to your moon, like, it's not your finger that you're trying to get people to look at, right? I'm fucking that up. What is that?
Except that identity is generally broader. Your identity is bigger than...
The spirit which you speak of, is it the spirit? Okay, that's an yeah. It's still built through our consciousness, which is a pre-reflective thought before it reaches language to be interpreted. Gender is kind of like an operating system of identity. The spirit is augmented by the tyranny of social oppression put upon us. Huh. This is interesting stuff, Goatsmith. I'm not sure about spirits. I'm a dialectical materialist. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that stuff.
Just any...
Like, sometimes questions like that take me beyond the place that I can describe with my words. I mean, there may be a way, right, to gesture at least. But you're still pointing at the moon. You're not embodying the moon. You're not becoming the moon.
One aspect. So, for example, my identity can be framed in many ways. I am Demonmama. That is my identity. That's
core brand proposition.
That's how most people identify me. But there are aspects of that. There are aspects of my identity that I don't show to the rest of the world because it's my private thing. Yeah. So yeah. It's not that gender identity is a term that refers to a specific part of identity. This complicated thing that we call gender. And gender largely encompasses things like style.
Yeah, as far as the whole spirit, material question, I don't know. I'm somewhat agnostic on that stuff. I don't know how to explain this. I find materialism really useful, really important, right? When you want to break down something like ideology, when you want to break down something like, systems like capitalism, communism, monarchy, feudalism, etc., yeah, you need to do it in a materialist way. Otherwise, you're going to have somebody telling you you'll get pie in the sky. Wait, what is it? Pie in the sky when you die. Yeah? Like the Joe Hill song? Yeah, you'll have somebody, telling you that your reward is in heaven, and just, wait, just be a good little, be a good little servant to the king right now, and eventually you get your reward in heaven, right? You'll have all people gamify that shit. People gamify, is that the right word? People weaponize, I guess that shit is a better way to say it. The spirit, i.e. being manifests itself and then is put upon by outside forces which subjugate us. And you're saying that like something greater arises through that response to the subjugation?
It's, like sexual roles sometimes. There's a lot of things.
It's so weird because I've thought about this stuff all my life, but like I don't know. I feel like I'm in such a like I find myself at such a crossroads right now, right?
That play into gender, but none of them are intrinsic. It's very messy, much like tons of parts.
And when I find myself at a crossroads and I've got two paths before me, I usually try to see if there's not a third invisible path.
Of identity. But yes. There we go. Pain Sama, thank you. That is fantastic. Credit.
Do you think human essences are real? Wait, so you're talking about like individual, like almost like a soul? The being must be defended at all costs. Only through sovereignty of being can we find the truth.
To Pain Sama for this one. Identity is like a car, where gender identity is like a part of that car. Exactly. Your gender identity is a part, but there isn't a clean line. All of our identities bleed together. For example, if I was to tell you, hi everybody, my name is...
Actually, you could find a better example in the human body. In that, like, okay, so here's an interesting little tidbit in chat. This is going to be a little bit gruesome. I have been through gross anatomy class, which, yes, did involve human dissection. And when you look at the way that the muscle is attached to the bone, because, you know, all your muscles are attached to bones. That's how you work. That's how the system of levers in your body works, right? You know, that animates you, right? When you look at that, you'll find that it's a little bit subjective, like the way that the tissue connects. I guess we call this interdigitation, right? In that, like, you know, it's not connected in a, okay, here is the muscle, here is the connective tissue, and here's the bone. It's like, here's the muscle, here is some connective tissue, here is more connective tissue, here is more connective tissue, here is almost all connective tissue. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have, like, this clean kind of break. I mean, you can try, like, if you've ever scalpeled a muscle off of a bone, you know, you'll find that the distinction is really not that clear between all this stuff. All this stuff is kind of it's intermeshed, I guess, is the best way to look at it, right? Oh God, I'm sorry, Chad. I didn't mean to gross anybody out. I know it's dinner time for some of you.
I'm a streamer. Would anybody disagree with me if I said that? No. No one is going to disagree. But guess what? I am also a gamer. I also play games. That's a part of my identity. It's just not the one that we're talking about right now.
But I'm not a rapper.
So there you go. Does that make sense? I am a streamer and a gamer at the same time. And there's no clear lines because, as you all know, I play games and
gender is like a handle. Yes, I love the metaphor of handles, right? A handle that we use to describe. That's what I think language is, right? Because like I said before, language isn't real. Don't ever get the map confused with the territory, or you're in for a bad time. But yeah, language does serve as handles on conceptualizing material concepts, I guess, for lack of a better term, and immaterial concepts, especially immaterial concepts. Gender is like a handle we use to describe a part of our experience and identity. Reality itself is subjective. We defined the material, but what defines the definitions we suppose on things? Why is Demonmama giving a Hobbes take? Humans are not machines or cars. Good point. Yeah, it is a little bit deterministic.
talk about games on stream.
And you could even make the argument that humans are not like masses of cells and muscle attached to bones. Chad, did you know that there's more? Okay, so if you're talking about like your body as you conceive of it, there's more substance in there without what you call your genetic code than there is with your genetic code. What am I talking about? I'm talking about our microbiome. And not just in the gut either. On your skin, there's a microbiome, right? there's stuff in us that we need to function, that in the genetic sense is very much not us, right? And so, like, where does your identity lie? That's a really good question. And it informs concepts like individualism versus collectivism, right? That, like, where are you? Where are you in your body? Where are you in space and time? That there's not necessarily, firm answers for these questions either.
Our identity can't be cleanly delineated. Does that make sense? Vesper Chi says, would it be more productive or correct, I don't know a better way to put it, to refer to the gamer gender in question as an identity as opposed to a gender identity? Not necessarily, because what if it impacts your gender? Like, what if gaming is such a big part of you that it actually expresses, like, that it actually engages with a whole bunch of stuff that we would traditionally consider gender? Like, for example, what if you're such a like, this is really cringe, but hey, it happens. What if you're such a gamer that, like, the way that you flirt with people,
Demonmama, always afraid of cringe,
is through gaming, and the way that you have sex with people is via gaming, like you're like that into it, then it could be that gamer is an important part of what we generally call gender. But the problem is that the problem is, again, there's no clean lines. So yeah. Votimus, hi, I'm a member of Vaush's community, and I completely agree with your take here. Honestly, I don't think cis people should weigh in on this topic when they don't have the stakes in the outcome.
It's so weird how they say that. I'm a member of Vaush's community. What the fuck? Do you have a card? Is there like a VGG card or something, chat? What is this? I'm a member of Vaush's community.
Also doesn't help that Vaush's goal of creating more connection with the left to arbitrarily dividing people up. I just think that Vaush has a personal hang-up on this issue, and I think he makes some bad arguments about it. But again, I'm making this in good faith, so I'm happy to see that there are members of Vaush's audience here who find my position to make sense. Let's continue. Let's fucking continue.
Wait, are we sure we're not confusing postmodernism with existentialism?
A lot of Menku could see the lines. Yes, and here's the secret. Some lines are frayed. Some lines are fuzzy. And a Menku knows when there's a fuzzy line.
Some lines are bullshit.
Some lines must be cut, yes. Music combo. Sorry to repost, but I do want to be challenged on this if you think it...
The Vaush Society. Yes, it makes it sound so formal.
...needs work. So perhaps I should expand my personal definition of gender beyond social and personal norms associated with sex. I think that's a good idea. Because I think that gender has a lot more to do... has a lot less to do with sex these days, and a lot more to do with, like, how you engage with other people, and, like, how you engage in flirting, and how you engage in fashion than sex. It really doesn't have much to do with sex anymore. Gender just doesn't, and it really hasn't. If ever since we made the distinction between sex and gender, we've recognized that it doesn't really have much to do with sex at all.
Wait, did you ever see that? There was like a video about postmodernism. I think it was called, like, Postmodernism. It's by Hugbees. It's about how all around the world postmodernism is defined slightly differently. Like, so what can or can't be postmodern is a little bit shifted or skewed in every different culture around the world.
Let's continue.
Vaush has been slipping. He may need an intervention soon. Oh god, that Professor Flowers debate, that was really tough for me. Listen, like, I mean, I've, talked to Vaush, I don't agree. There's a lot that I don't agree with. He has, at different times, though, been more concerned about issues of platforming than some of the other creators on Twitch, right? Than like a Dylan Burns, for example. And, it's kind of, like, the sad thing is, it almost didn't matter, right? Because Vaush makes decisions that will benefit Vaush, and there's not a lot of thought outside of that. There's a certain moral resignation that I sense in Vaush that's basically like, well, it would be nice if people wouldn't platform a Nazgul, but it's too late, so I guess I'll just go with it, and I'll go on the Hans of Harkir panel after that dipshit brought on genocide denier Haas from Infrared, right? Like, this is cringe. This is really fucked up. But I don't know, if you ask Vaush, like, you know, I don't know, it's something like moral responsibility for a streamer. That's a bit of a, like, I think he'd laugh in my face if I strung together words like that, you know? And it's kind of sad because he's in a position to have a lot of influence on how the online left actually works, right? And he's, at every turn, he has failed to act wisely. And that's why I'm calling for new leadership on the online left, because I think our current leadership sucks. And it's not doing a good job. The people that are in those places of power, those positions of influence, are not using them, chat, as they should be. We could use that shit to make the world slightly better. Instead, we're having people just, like, allow the environment to get worse and worse until you have Lauren Southern on Twitch and you have Haas of Infrared as a legitimate debate bro that gets brought on panels, whereas nocommentchick, oh geez, you better not bring her on. You don't want to piss off you know who, right, Vaush? Vaush knows who. Chat, some of you know who I'm talking about too. This is a name I literally can't say. This is a name that I literally can't say, right? Okay? This is a, like, real-life Voldemort that we're dealing with here, and I can't even say his fucking name, right? But, like, you know who you're gonna piss off if you bring nocommentchick on. So she is effectively canceled, while Haas, the Nazbol fascist piece of dog shit, is getting brought onto platforms. And there's no social consequences. Those hypocritical pieces of dog shit at DGG only care about genocide denial when it's attached to the name Chaos is Mel. They don't give a fuck about genocide denial when it's attached to the name Infrared Haas.
Different from being game.
I just thought you and Vaush were going to play Phas. We did play Phasmophobia before, but people wanted me to react to this take because I talk about this kind of stuff all the time.
Or gender.
Metal Murph says, why can't I appreciate gender as a cis man? I'm comfortable with my gender, and the idea can still be explored by cis people. Am I wrong? No. I think you're right. I think some people just think that there's some people who say that, like...
I don't know if mean is the word I'd use, Goatsmith. I think the word I'd use is vicious, right? I think vicious more accurately describes Lauren Southern than mean.
You should be careful if you don't have stakes in it. And that's fine. I generally agree with that. I'm not the type of person who thinks that... I encourage cis people...
Like, somebody that sees a boat full of migrants and decides to shoot a flare gun at it, that's vicious. That's monstrous, actually, is what that is, right?
To talk about this stuff. However, I do think there's issues if you present your opinion, like, authoritatively, and you make bad arguments. Yeah. So, yeah. Rashad Abdul Salam says, gender is the left using a materialist lens to go back into the concept of the soul. Gender is the life spark. Identity is the clothing of the soul. I don't know if I would agree with that interpretation entirely. But
oh, so, you know, something interesting about this VOD is that Demonmama has a segment in this VOD called Why I'm Not an Atheist. I'm kind of curious about that. I don't really want to cover too much, you know, like, I don't want to get stuck covering too much Demonmama, no offense, but, like, you know, I don't want to, like, make my, we try not to, like, just, you know what I mean, like,
but I think that
I've got a lot of shit to cover, is what I'm saying, right? And do we really go there? We do go into a metaphysical space on my stream sometimes, but, I don't know, going into a metaphysical space with Demonmama, not sure that sounds like my idea of a good time.
Is one interesting way to look at it. Yeah, I think that gender is a very complicated topic, but but when I think of gender, I think of what type of clothes do I wear? What do I say out to the world? What do I say about myself out to the world? Am I generally feminine? Am I generally masculine? I would love to dissolve these things, but for right now, that's what gender involves. Gender involves how we express to the world. It usually has to do with things like clothes, sexual roles, all kinds of stuff like that. And it needs to be challenged, but they do pertain to those issues. Okay?
For the question in chat, we're talking about Voldemort.
Oh, I agree.
We're talking about Voldemort.
Derek, but that goes a little bit too broad, I think, for this. Let's continue.
I'm seriously asking. This isn't meant to impugn them. I just think that we throw gender next to identities as if that
course I am,
makes them
Vietpom.
categorically
I am
different.
always willing to talk to Vaush. Vaush, I consider Vaush a friend. I'm always willing to talk to Vaush about it. But people wanted me to react to this, and so I said I would react in good faith. And I think I have reacted in very good faith so far. I disagree with Vaush on...
I mean, Vaush probably wouldn't want to handle something like a debate with you on this after the Professor Flowers thing. That could be detrimental to Vaush, and as we all know, that's where Vaush's decisions come from. Is it good for Vaush? Is it bad for Vaush?
this. I think some of his arguments aren't very good, but that's okay. We'll get to the bottom of it, and it's fine.
Like, Vaush is very much... Like, look, if you're not convinced that Vaush is first and foremost concerned with Vaush, right? Look at the Professor Flowers debate, and then contrast that to the amount of bitching and moaning this guy has done about cancel culture over the past 3 years. If you listen to Vaush, you think that cancel culture is the #1 evil in all of, like, online politics, right? And then this bitch fucking enacts cancel culture. I don't know what you want to call what Vaush did to Professor Flowers. I call it cancellation. I don't know, maybe people like Vaush only dignify something with the name cancellation when it happens to a white straight cis dude. I don't know, maybe that's their idea of what cancellation is, but I sure as fuck think it seems an awful lot like scapegoating, and that's the shit that has happened for millennia to marginalized people primarily.
Types of broader identities. It's fundamentally the same. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that.
Oh, cool, Plush.
Now the thing is,
that's the sad thing, yo. And like, I don't know why I'm expecting anything different, right? Because we do live in Hell World. We do live in Hell World, but like right now, it would be so great if there was somebody occupying this spot that I could actually talk to, that would actually listen, and that would actually do something instead of sitting on his fucking hands while he sees a Nazgul being platformed, while he sees somebody that did nothing more than stand up for trans rights get stepped on and canceled by one of your friends, Vaush. And you sat there. You fucking sat there. You sad sack of shit hypocrite.
don't you think we might be establishing a precedent?
Javier says, I feel like your take is more as to why we should abolish gender and take all things now considered as a gender as just an identity. I mean, I think there were problems with how we conceptualize gender. I do think that, like...
Cancellation comes from the top down in the power structure. Yeah, and get ready for that power structure to be formalized, because that shit's in the works to make it official. Both in the sense of preventing people that are useful to Clout networks from being canceled, and in enacting cancellation against the enemies of said Clout networks. That shit is being made official as we speak by the HR department from hell.
Agitation is...
And by hell, I mean a Nazi Discord.
Agitation is happening every day. We are reshaping what we believe, how we engage with gender. And I would love someday for none of this to really be considered gender, but just to be something that's there. Because, like, keep in mind that, like, yes, yeah, thank you, trans girl therapist. Gender should be fun, not a prison. Yes,
I kind of wish she
gender
was a
should not be a
tentacle
prison.
therapist instead.
Why should... Okay, if you look at me, what if I... Okay, I'm
Can we get a
I'm
tentacle?
pretty,
Can we get some tentacle therapists in
dominant
chat?
and toppy, okay?
We got some TT
like,
stands.
That's just a true. That's just a
Any
truth,
tentacle
okay?
therapists out there?
But, and to be fair, I dress pretty dykey, which tends to indicate that, you know, I'm probably a little dominant and a little toppy,
I would
just
call
by
it
the stereotypes.
but you know.
But why shouldn't I be able to dress like this and be super submissive and super bottomy? I should be able to, right? See, that's why we challenge this idea of gender and gender expression, because maybe we shouldn't make as many assumptions as we do currently. Yeah? Maybe we shouldn't do that. And that's what we're challenging here. All right, everybody.
You did show that thing at the beginning of the story.
Oh yeah, I did. Wait, that was nothing. There was nothing wrong with that. Jesus.
True. Yeah. Nothing.
Do
What
we
did I
even
say?
have
What did I do?
do we even have tentacle emotes? Do we
What
even
did I
have
do wrong?
tentacle emotes?
That's one thing Conyers talked about, because they're a top, but because they have adopted a femboy aesthetic, everyone
Oh.
assumes them to be a bottom. Yeah, isn't that
Didn't know
weird?
that.
Shouldn't
Yeah.
there be able? In fact, we know we
Absolutely.
love it. We know.
Absolutely.
I know. Some of you right now, I'm gonna say this, and some of you are gonna fucking cum your pants. Okay? I'm gonna say this. Ready? Femboys railing a big dude in the ass or a big
Beautiful.
woman in the ass.
Beautiful. Love
Uh-oh.
it. Love
Some
it.
of you are losing your mind over that shit because, oh, as it turns out, maybe it's actually kind of hot when that happens.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
And maybe we should recognize that, like, we
Yes,
have
we
some
do have
pretty
tentacles.
essentialist
We do
views
have
about
tentacles.
gender and gender
We do have
expression.
tentacle therapists. We can muster those weird champs. Chat, we can muster those weird champs, can't we? We can muster those tentacle therapists.
You're not shunned from it. It's just that, like, not everyone. Well, look, I don't want to get into that. Let's get back to this. I want to get back to the take. Okay, please, let's get
over
back to the fucking take.
TGT.
I'm getting stun locked in my own way.
We're saying a thing as a gender affords it more respect than it would otherwise get. Because there are
Why?
a ton of personality types and archetypes and like identities that we don't have
Archetypes?
genders that don't get that.
Oh
kind of
my
respect.
God.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, chat.
Maybe we
Archetypes.
should just Vaush. Maybe we should just respect
Archetypes?
people's identities in general. Maybe we should just respect them. Why do you have to? Why do you insist on a world where you can like not respect something? Like it sounds like Vaush is trying to come up with a philosophical framework that justifies him not caring about things. Look, you don't have to care about it. If you don't give a shit about people's genders, then don't fucking give a shit. But some people do.
I love
some
me
people
some
care.
tentacles,
You don't
chat.
have to
I'm
if you
so
don't
here
want
for the
to.
tentacles.
You don't need a philosophical
And the tentacles
framework
are very
that
much
tells you
here
you
for
don't have to
me,
give a shit.
chat. The tentacles are very
We
much
just call
here for
everything a
me.
gender and surrender
There's something
without
about
it.
my
We
like
call stuff gender.
The dogma,
arms
the
and
dogma
legs that just
again.
wanna
What are
be
you talking
bound.
about?
You know what
What
I
are you
mean?
talking about? What dogma? Give me the dogma. I don't know this. I'm like the most
And I'd say more, but I don't
terminally
wanna
queer person
be-
I've ever met. And what are you talking about? I don't know what that is.
this. I'd say more, but
Deserves so much respect that we will literally call people.
well, maybe I'll
bigots
save that for like an
if they don't
OnlyFans or
approve
something.
it.
What am I
But
talking
there are
about?
Other elements. Of
What if the
Because they
OnlyFans have like
usually
a... Never
are
mind, never mind,
bigots.
never mind.
Yeah,
There's no
they
only- there's
usually
no
are.
comment on
If
OnlyFans.
somebody
I'm teasing,
doesn't,
I'm
if
teasing.
somebody
That doesn't
doesn't
exist.
respect your gender, there's
There's not,
probably
there's not a
it's probably
secret
because
OnlyFans, okay?
They are
There's not a
bigoted.
secret OnlyFans.
They're not usually bigoted if they don't respect your interest because of social context. But yes, gender has a certain social context because people are discriminated against based on gender all the time.
identities. We don't do that. We don't do it with alpha male. We don't do it with sigma male. And go to, by the way, the YouTube comment section under any sigma male video, and I promise you,
Sigma
there
grind
are
set.
people as
Sigma
attached
grind
to being
set.
sigma males as there are people attached to being women. Or what about the
What? What was that? What?
Horus?
Guess what? I already do. If somebody wants to look, guess what? Hey, guess what? Are you fucking
Oh,
ready
good
for
point.
this?
Yeah.
If somebody personally identifies as an alpha
How is only respecting traditional genders less dogmatic than extending the respect to other genders? Yeah.
male, more power to them. More power to them. There are tons of people who do, by the way. A lot of people do identify that way.
Scopes. What about being a Taurus or a Cancer or a Sagittarius? What if people start saying stuff like that and ask for different pronouns?
People do. No, I mean, not different pronouns, but right, there people that are into the zodiac, right, are very into the zodiac. Like, they want you to know that they are a Pisces. They want you to know that they are a Taurus, and they want you to remember that, maybe, what is it, the ones that don't get along versus the ones that do. You know what I mean? The people that are into that are very much into that. Just like the people that are into the Myers-Briggs are very much into the Myers-Briggs, right? It's
Based on their astrological signs.
More power to them. That's their right.
people call people Cancer already,
Hey, if someone believes that their astrological sign is incredibly important to their gender, then I will respect them because that's their right to determine that. That's their right to determine their self-identity. If it's annoying, then I'll talk to them as a person. Why does there have to, why would we need to build a philosophical structure that prevents someone from having a slightly cringe gender identity? What if their gender ID was super straight? Hey, you know what I did about super straight? Watch this. I said, super straight is just transphobia.
With extra steps. Or even without extra steps. No, there's extra steps. It's transphobia with extra steps is what it is, yeah.
You're just being transphobic. You are just saying, I don't like trans people. There are logical holes in super straight that don't have anything to do with whether it's a valid gender identity or not. And by the way, that's a sexuality and not a gender identity.
There is a difference. Heavy.
Super straight is a right-wing meme that says that I'm going to develop a new sexual orientation that is, I like women, but by women I mean only cis women, and not trans people, or like, you know, I like men, but not trans men, or, you know what I mean, like basically, like I'm attracted to this or that or both, but not trans people. Like it's a trans exclusionary sexual orientation, right? And yeah, they're trying to use the language of the left to own the left. But as Demonmama has aptly pointed out, there are some major fucking logical holes in that shit. And I think she's got a video on that maybe we'll see, we'll watch sometime. Like I said, I don't want to, you know, like I don't want to concentrate on one content creator. We try to give you a wide swath of what's going on the online left here on NCC TV. But yeah, like I mean, that's Demonmama does a lot of interesting content. Like honestly, if it wasn't for the Clout networks that she's like kind of hooked into, I don't think there'd really be any problems between us. Like, these all arose from her insistence on shrimping for Dylan Burns and, you know, Vaush and a million other people. And yes, I understand why she needs to do it, especially with Vaush, given that Destiny and his community have attacked her mercilessly. She probably needed to join that, like, mafia in order to survive. So on some level, I kind of cut her a break on all that, right? Because I think that, like, you know, she's just... You know, given what she's experienced with the harassment that followed her after she clapped Destiny, to be honest, she fucking snuck up on, surprised, and absolutely embarrassed Destiny, and he never let her forget it. He wanted to cancel her to erase that loss. Well, I'm sorry, Destiny. You were sleep study that time, and you got wrecked. You got wrecked, son.
We'll talk about this, okay? We'll talk about this. Let's continue. Let's get through the take, and I'll give my takes. I'll give my thoughts.
That, not only could you call that a gender...
That's the thing, chat. Like, I mean, this year I have experienced really the dark side of the online left. Like, all the hypocrisy, all the clout chasing, all the, you know, networking bullshit that goes on here that ruins any chance of solidarity, that ruins any chance of real praxis, that ruins any chance of actually standing up for somebody who's willing to take on these clout networks, right? I've experienced a lot of the dark sides, but when you look at it, there's gradations, okay? Is Demonmama fucked up in some ways? Yes. Yes. Very much so. She made common cause with a Nazi collaborator named Samantha Banana in order to brigade me when she was claiming, like, you know, don't anybody brigade, don't any, you know, nudging in the fucking ribs, right? Don't anybody brigade her, right? You know, she absolutely collaborated with some sussy bakas because of her anger at me. And she went as far as to suggest that maybe the guy that stalked me a year or two ago, like, maybe he did nothing wrong, right? That's how fucked up she was, right? But is that as fucked up as Destiny? Not even close. Not even close. So in light of that, like, you know, I think we need to have a more nuanced look at online creators and not see them as essentially good or bad. Chat, there's mistakes that I've made, okay? I think that some of my defense of Xander Hall, when Xander Hall was attacked on issues like going on stream with Calvin Guerra, right? I just kind of reflexively defended him because he was one of the first creators that I met, that I really interacted with on a, on an individual basis, right? And because of that, I kind of held some, honestly, I wouldn't say friends, right? We were never, like, friends, but, I appreciated what his community was like early on, right? And I wanted to help him out, right? I think that my defense of Xanderhall on the Calvin Guerra issue was a mistake. I think I fucked up, okay? So not even I am a simple, yeah, she's really good, right? You can't just say that about me. None of us are just really good. None of us are just really bad. All of us are complicated historical figures. Oh yeah, thanks for the subby.
Then throw that back and say, this actually has more legitimate basis than...
And chat, just so you know, the super chats don't work right now because there's tax information that I need to give to YouTube that I haven't given yet, okay? So that's turned off for now. But if you want to donate to me, there's probably stuff that... Yeah, there's definitely stuff in the link tree, in the description that you can get to if you want to help out financially. Because, I do this full time, not by choice, not because I think I'm God's gift to streaming or anything like that, but because my two skill sets, massage therapy and kickboxing instruction, cannot be practiced right now during COVID. So I literally have no marketable skills besides streaming. So I'm trying to really make a go at it here. If you want to help me stay on, because it is really hard, and I am running up against some major financial constraints that might not just preclude me from streaming, but put me in a bad position housing wise and otherwise. You can click on that link tree, and you'll find links to Patreon and to PayPal, and among other things if you wanna help me out with that. So
Any modern...
Getting high with Calvin Guerra? What? When did that happen? Did that actually happen?
Binary gender.
Did that actually happen?
Those are given to us.
True, though! But that's true! That's fucking true! That's fucking true, and we all know this. We already know that the modern understanding of man and woman is fucking ass. We know it's bad. We know it's shit. You argue that it's shit all the time. You do this, Vaush, all the time. You do that all the time. Anyway.
From antiquity, that shit descends from the origins of humanity. So do we want to call those genders? Or to put it another way, do you guys want to live in a world where every zodiac spewing astrology horoscope following dipshit calls you a transphobe?
It's not the worst thing you can do.
Yes, because I don't care if somebody calls me a transphobe.
Do I think the zodiac is silly? Yeah, sure. But, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of silly things that people are into. I'm probably into some silly things, chat. I'm probably too into the video games that I play, you know what I mean? Especially when those video games start affecting real life, I don't know, chat, we might do some Persona after this over on Twitch, right? Just letting you know, Persona, it's Persona 2 Innocent Sin is what I'm talking about. We call it Persona because it's just fucked up, chat. There's a rumor about this game, okay, that anyone that streams it is gonna activate a curse. I streamed it, just because of that rumor, because, okay, what's the curse? They're gonna, and I was whatever, right? But sure enough, we were playing the game, and there's a scene in which the characters call their own number on the phone, and it rings, right? And one of them, survives, and the other three are turned into shadow people by Joker. Not Joker from Persona 5, but Joker from Persona 2, who is evil, right? And right then my phone rang. I'm sure it was just like a telemarketer or something like that. It was just a coincidence. But ever since then, chat, we've been noticing that every time I progress something in the game, something happens in Twitch politics, involving me, involving this whole shitty Clout network, and involving just some kind of a battle that's unfolding as we speak, honestly. And so it's kind of fun like that. I don't know. It definitely I've got chills up my spine talking about it. I'm not attached to the reality of the curse of the video game, but it is pretty freaky in its own way. And I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with entirely entertaining weird little notions like that.
I'm a transphobe, then I'm a fucking transphobe. But if I'm not, guess what? Everybody calls me transphobe anyway. Do you know that hundreds of thousands of people have watched a video in which I was repeatedly accused of being a transphobe, and that tons of people think that? I don't
Wait,
care.
what video is she talking about?
Yes, it's annoying to me.
What video is she talking about?
And I would challenge it, and I would ask them to substantiate it. But people call people shit all the fucking time. And yes, I agree that there are certain accusations, such as slander and libel, that go too far, but we're not talking about that. Vaush openly admitted we're not talking about that.
Zodiac sign. I don't want to live in that world.
God damn.
I think it's okay
and look
to
at this.
have
Look at
elements
this.
of
Here
your
we are talking about
Well,
the.
guess what?
Speaking of Persona, here we are talking about the Zodiac again. If you know the game, that there's
Conservatives don't want to live in a world where you have some made-up sexuality. Pansexuality? What the hell is that? When you fall in love with pans? What do you like to like rub your cock on your recently greased fucking cast iron pan? Jesus, sounds like some made-up shit.
that aren't assigned the same massive, grandiose social
Massive.
importance as like your
Dude,
massive.
I don't know where we live in a separate. I feel like Vaush is projecting a little here. Most of society is super disrespectful to gender. There is no massive societal respect that's paid to that. There just isn't. Anyway.
gender in modern society. I'm a gender abolitionist, so I want gender to stop having that importance. So when people are like, yeah, we're challenging gender.
No.
but
Okay, maybe that's Vaush's position, but that is not the position of gender abolitionists. Gender abolitionists don't want gender to stop having that importance by means of reducing your agency. They want it to stop having that importance because it will be so common for people to be able to assert their agency that we don't give a shit about it as much anymore. That's two different directions. Two separate directions here.
Jesus Christ! I didn't realize, chat. I didn't realize how long she was going to talk about this.
by making
I mean,
new
Vaush kind of
genders
went on it for.
and then treating them with the same.
This is the problem with
importance as
meta
the
react
genders we
content,
already
isn't
have.
it?
Wait,
Yes, because
This is the problem. She's pausing it, and I'm pausing it, and Vaush is taking forever to make his point, and it goes on. That's the problem with it, right?
they are, because pangender, because any gender that you can come up with right now is just as valid as man or woman, because we acknowledge that the category of gender is fucked. That is the gender abolitionist position. That is the gender abolitionist position. Is exactly that. They all of the non-binary umbrella is just as valid because we acknowledge that gender doesn't
He lies about having read theory. Doesn't surprise me that he would lie about this too.
exist on a binary. This is very silly.
how is this eliminating gender? We're just making.
What is so massive about it? I know, right? I wonder how Vaush will get to the point where gender is not important without gender accelerationism. Yeah, good point. I mean, that almost sounds more risky than as so we were talking about this earlier. How there's a little bit of risk in gender accelerationism because it offers the right wing opportunities to characterize it as absurd, right? And there's a chance that with the characterization of it as absurd, that they can achieve some kind of giant rollback of our understanding. That's what they'd like to do. I feel like by highlighting the contradictions of traditional concepts of gender, we're able to sort of lock in those gains in a way that, I'm not exactly sure how to do this, chat, but like I was talking about earlier, if you watch some old ass shit, you watch some 70s shit, you watch some 80s shit, you watch some 90s shit, and you look at how gender is addressed and treated there, you will notice a difference. You will see that is discordant with my current, even if you're a normie, even if you're slightly conservative, it's going to be a little bit discordant with your understanding of gender because, shit's done changed since then, right? I think that acknowledging this and becoming conscious of this allows us to lock in those gains, by which I mean, once somebody has seen that they were indeed in a cave and they are now out of the cave. You know, like the transition in between there is a little bit of a rough patch because you're not sure what's going on, and you're like, wait a minute, like the light's so bright, but like the shadows and like, you know what I mean? You're trying to figure. God, I'm like butchering the Plato. I'm butchering the Plato thought experiment here. It's not exactly a thought experiment, whatever it is, right? The allegory is what it is. An allegory, very famous allegory. But you know, like once you're out of there and your eyes adjust to the light, you're not going back in there. You're not getting dragged back into that cave. And if you do, you know the way out. That's where I want to leave humanity. That's the change I want to effect. Yeah, good to talk to you, Goat. Assimilation and reform are theoretical options, but we won't see the day that we are free of gender boxes if we wait for that. Cave allegory, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, Irene.
Cherry says, I think he might be trying too hard to draw a line somewhere to appeal to normies. Maybe. I don't know.
Cherry,
I don't think that's a good battle to fight.
You are
I don't
genius.
think you should intentionally be wrong to appeal to normies.
I agree.
And the funny thing is, it doesn't appeal to...
Demonmama, you're looking at the essential contradiction of Vaush. Of Vaush's very existence on these platforms. This is what is discordant about this man's streaming career, okay? Yes, there's like inherent contradiction there. Congratulations for finally discovering it. You've only been like sucked up to his clout nipple for how many months now? You know what I mean? Yeah, like I mean, maybe she was aware of this. Maybe she just wasn't comfortable talking about it before.
Normies. It appeals only to conservatives. Normies, if you are, and I've done this. I've had conversations offline with people and gone, you know, gender is kind of bullshit. 100 years ago, pink was a man's color because it was, or a boy's color because it represented passion and strength and anger, but in a subdued form because they're a child and not a man yet. And then red was a man's color, and now pink is a woman's color because of blah 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 blah. So gender is very fluid, and we don't really look at it this way. Maybe we should just let people be what they want to be because gender is kind of a bullshit category. That's an easy argument. There you go. I think that we shoot ourselves in the foot when we bend over backwards to accept the rhetorical framework of the right in the name of appealing to normies, because the far right aren't normies. They aren't.
More of them. We're making more of them and making it more complicated and having people spend more time thinking about it. I don't know if that's... I noticed that the people who disagree with me on this are basically just saying that what I say sounds reactionary. Nothing... I know that, like, thinking is difficult, but nothing that I'm saying right now is a reactionary argument. Because I'm...
Gosh. Okay, some of your arguments here...
Look, it's not meaning to be a reactionary argument, but it's affected by, let's just say, the reactionary gaze. By the fact that when Vaush was coming up as a streamer, he would do things like go on the kill stream, right? So he tailors his arguments so that that they can be used in places like that. In order to do that perception that you have of I'm being looked at by Flamenco and his friends, right? That is the reactionary gaze, you know? And so when you accept that gaze and you let it affect, like, you know, how you're speaking and how you're thinking, that's when you get a reactionary take that you don't really understand why it's reactionary. And it comes from the fact that, like, instead of concentrating on de-radicalizing others, maybe you should have worked on de-radicalizing yourself. Like, inside and out. Oh my god, that kind of sounds a little bit sexual. I didn't mean it that way. Vaush. I'm not trying to sexualize Vaush, folks. Just so you understand, I'm not trying to sexualize Vaush. There's no reason to do that. If Vaush wants to sexualize himself, that's fine. But that's not where I'm trying to go here, chat. I'm just like saying that at a very deep level, this guy is caught in the reactionary mind prison. I don't know how else to say it. Not as bad as like a right winger, not anywhere comparable to that, right? But yeah, a little bit of de-radicalization work still to go. I mean, de-radicalization is probably the wrong word for it.
I don't like the framing of calling it a reactionary argument, but some of these kind of are. The argument that, and I just want to reassess this so that we know that I'm in good faith. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna restate his argument from the beginning, which is that right now this isn't a problem because it's 14-year-olds goofing around on Tumblr. But if it continues, we might someday have a Z-Zer Happy Meal, and that would look really bad. That is the argument that he opened this segment with. That is a reactionary argument. It's saying
it's also a take meister.
No, you're moving too fast. I need to push back against this type of change. That is a reactionary argument. Now, that alone doesn't make it invalid, but I just look, the term reactionary is really loaded and has a lot of baggage, so I don't think he's meaning to make that, but it is kind of a reactionary argument. It's saying that, oh, there's a slippery slope, we have to stop this or else everything will fall apart. That is a reactionary argument.
I'm not making any prescriptive statements. Everything that I've said is descriptive. It is a fact that a lot of what people call genders are just identities that could not go by gender. They chose to call it a gender.
Yes, that's also true about a huge amount of man and woman. That is also true, Vaush, about man and woman.
Because that assigns it more social worth.
Wait a second. Why is it, hold on a second. Why is it that being a homemaker is associated with being a woman? Why is it that being a woman, it's considered feminine to be a homemaker, to stay at home, to cook, to take care of kids? Why is that associated with being a woman when it could just be a job title? That's what we're talking about, Vaush. That's what we're talking about.
Online left-leaning spaces. These aren't prescriptive statements. This is true. And there are other things that are identities that we don't assign that level of importance. Now, personally, I think the reason why transphobia is such a big deal is because there are so many expectations around what it means to be a man and a woman, and because those clash so hard against people's internal identities sometimes, whether that be physiologically, in which case they're transsexual and they want, like, you know, the medical treatment and based, you know, or whether it's only psychological and social, in which case it's still a huge deal because there's like a lot of weight to this. Guys, how much social weight is there?
The reason why there is a problem with transphobia is because it denies people's agency. It says you are not allowed to live this way. You are not allowed to be who you say you are because our society, because it's degenerate. That is the problem with transphobia. The transphobia is the core problem of transphobia is in the denial of agency. It's in the denial of agency. I think that might be where this take is coming from.
To any of the innumerable genders you can find on gender.
Wait, what was that? Okay, he's making the transgender, transsexual distinction. I can't think of a lot of reasons for that distinction in this day and age. You know what I mean? But I can think of one, and it's really not a good one. It's really not a good one. It's really not a good reason, okay? I can think of one group of people who finds use for that distinction, right? And I feel like there's not enough awareness of how toxic transmeds and true scum are amongst cis people. I feel like they don't really get it. They hear these like lines that are like literally transmedicalism, and they're just like, okay, well that's one interpretation of the you know, trans experience, and it's like, yeah, that's a predatory expression. That's an expression that seeks to say, listen, we're just not getting enough validity from the cis superstructure, which is true. None of us are getting that validity that we deserve, right? None of us are like, you know, really respected, right? And so their calculation is like, what if I take it from you? What if I take it from you? What if I take it from you? I'm the only real trans person here. Yeah, it's fucking cringe. It's fucking cringe. And it's more common than you'd think. And, like, the cis left doesn't do a good job differentiating, like, you know, these kind of takes from a take that is, you know, respectful to all trans people, right? Like, it's like we're in here with these bullies, and they're just like, hey, what's up? to our bullies, right? To people that are horrible and toxic, and I would say predatory. I don't know how else to describe trans meds and true scum other than fucking predatory. Like, yeah, there's something fucking monstrous about trying to, like, vampire the, like, respectability from other trans people and, like, you know, literally throw them under the bus for your own, like, weird champ, like, ego trip of quasi-cis privilege. I don't know what the fuck else you call that. I'm sorry. I kind of went off. All he said was transsexual. All he said was transsexual, and this got me going off. But, like, chat, I've been dealing with this shit, okay? I've been dealing with these people, and I've had it. I fucking had it with trans meds and true scum. I have fucking had it. No quarter, okay? No quarter.
Wiki. I'm gonna go somewhere.
Look, if she gets to smoke, I get to smoke.
So
if she
we're
gets to
not
vape, I get to
talking
vape.
about-
Okay.
For you. For you.
Is that right?
But
Is
for
that
that
right?
person,
Is it okay?
it might be important. And it's not, you don't get to make that call. They do. Because it's their agency with their identity, not yours. It might not be important to you, and that's fine, but it's important to them. Good night, Arrow. Thanks for coming by.
Things that have this massive social, like huge presence behind them. We're creating new identities, and you can cancel me for this if you want.
boy,
but
here
a
we
lot
go.
of people who choose xenogenders.
But don't
and
worry, I'll
xenopronouns
fucking
just choose
monetize
because
it
they
if you
like how they
do.
sound.
So what? So what? What is the problem with that? That's the same reason people choose their name. What? Oh my god. Oh my god, here we go.
Not because there's some massive, like, set of expected values surrounding them, but because they...
Rain Cloud, why do we listen to him continue to make this garbage tier argument and still say he's a good person? I'm utterly flabbergasted. Because guess what? One take does not a good or bad person make. And guess what? I still fucking love the shit out of Vaush, even though I think this take is dumb as a rock. I'm sorry. I hope that, I know that might sting. I think this is a dumbass take.
Okay, so chat, if you don't,
But-
let me just point out what this is. That's Lady Raincloud. I don't know how often she comes by Demonmama's stream. I know she's been on Chud Logic before, and Chud Logic and Demonmama are kind of friends, so, you know, I guess it makes sense. But Lady Raincloud went hard against Chud Logic, I think, on the Prime Kai thing, and you know, it's kind of going hard against Vaush here. She's very much no quarter, right? And Demonmama's, you know, a shrimp's got a shrimp, I guess. So she's shrimping for
Come on.
Pepe La Vie.
How about several 100 bad takes? Hey, Lady Raincloud, with all due respect, you've made some pretty dumbass fucking takes in the past as well. Just chill, please.
Oh, we
Be
got
fucking
drama. We got drama on aisle 4. Yeah, shit. Well, I am the value streamer, so, you know, I would know. Like, clean up on aisle 4, Mess Mama. Clean up on aisle 4.
Here. I'm not
These
here
memes
for the,
just- I
like,
swear to
let's
God,
hate
these-
Vaush train. I'm here to
I swear to God, these memes just write themselves.
do a good faith critique, okay? There we go. You get back to me. You get back to me. Well, look, I already know you don't like Vaush. I come to a different conclusion. We're not going to see eye to eye on that.
This is a
If
pretty
you think
interesting
Vaush is
little
is
interaction,
so bad
huh?
as to not be associated with, well, that's your right. And it's your agency to not associate with him, and it's my agency. And it's my agency that allows me to say this.
And it's our agency,
Let's continue.
Demonmama. It's our agency to call that shit cringe. Cringe, mama.
I'm not getting super mad at you. I'm just being a little firm and saying,
I'm not getting super mad at you. I'm just being a little firm, okay?
look, we don't need to run a cancel train here. We can just disagree. Look, I know. You all remember the debate I had with Vaush live about the pride shit?
Why does ganging up with Lady Raincloud against Demonmama feel so good, chat? Can anybody in chat tell me why does this feel so good? It feels so natural. It feels so natural, chat. Why does this feel so good?
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
They sound cool. And again, fucking
I might have to do more of this in the future, chat. I might have to...
based. I don't have
Lady Rainclaw's coming off kind of based here.
anything against that. Change your name. Change your idea. I don't
Okay,
care.
okay.
But
Then
that's
what?
nicknames.
No. No, it isn't. No, it's not.
Still standing Vaush, I see. Disappointing, Demonmama. Disappointing.
Understanding your gender expression as something non-binary, something that is neither man nor woman, is not the same thing as a nickname. It just isn't. That is just false. That is just not true. They might be similar, but they're not the same.
We're talking about nicknames. Nicknames we're assigning the weight of gender to. And I just feel a little bit...
God, I mean, I really do feel the human centipede-ness of the discourse right now. Do you know what I mean? This meta-react content, like, I mean, it's... You gotta do it. You gotta do it. But it's a little bit like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? It's like, Demonmama watches Vaush and reacts, then I watch Demonmama and reacts, and like, before we know it, like, Vaush will watch me. Oh my god, let that not happen. Let that not happen. Please, please, let that not happen, okay? Please, can we let that not happen? Can we let that not happen? Let that not happen.
off about...
That would be so fucking
extrapolating
scary.
the
Listen,
immediate-
There it is. Right,
that is one briar patch I do not need to get
right there.
thrown into.
I feel a little bit off. That is the entire argument. The
Okay, yeah.
entire argument is I feel a little bit off. That's it. The entire argument is that. None of these other points have had...
But yeah, that would be the centipede eating its own tail. Am I the tail? God damn it, I don't want to be the tail. This sucks. Being version 4.0 isn't all it's cracked up to be, is it?
have held up. That is the argument. The argument is it makes me feel weird and I don't like it.
Demonmama, who was that transmed chick, though, that was calling you... Like, I don't remember her name. Was it Melissa Flower Dreams? I don't remember. It was somebody, but that was calling herself version 4.0, and that you, like, didn't react badly to. But when I made the joke about version 4.0, which I think I was just reading chat, honestly. I think it was, like, chat that was making the joke about me being version 4.0, right? Although I did include it in a thumbnail at one point, I think. But, like, yeah, like, and then you didn't react to her. And then she did this weird meme of like a bearded Wojak face on your avatar or something like that, and at that point you realized, okay, this chick's bad news. I can't remember her name. I don't know if it was Melissa Flower Dreams or if it was Hugbeat. No, Hugbees is not a trans woman, right? I don't remember, chat. I seriously don't remember anymore.
Yes, your demonic dad from Twitch chat says, also, a nickname can be assigned to you and sometimes against your will. Yeah, have you ever been called...
But yeah, Demonmama's really good at cuddling up to sussy bakas, and then later being very sorry that she did. I think like this chick and Samantha Banana are prime examples of that. And I guess Adam Rainstopper too, yeah? What was up with that? That is like the weirdest thing that I've ever seen her do. Like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stand your Stalker. Yeah, maybe your Stalker did nothing wrong. Ha ha! How about that, no comment chick? Ha ha ha! Fucking... It's like evil, but it's like so performatively evil you almost can't take it seriously. It's like, are you literally a fucking comic book villainess? Like, what is your is that what Demonmama is? It does. It sounds like a really cheap like monster of the week type. You know, like that, like enemy of the week. You know what I mean? The battle manga with the enemy of the week. You know, like it would just be like a low level. God damn it! Why won't this work?
Something you don't like being called? It fucking sucks. When I was a kid, there was a time when I got bullied, and they called me lots of names. Sometimes slurs were those names, and I didn't ask for them, and I didn't have a choice in it, and it felt bad, because guess what? We like having agency to be who we are.
The last reactor in the chain should just start the video, stop it immediately while Vaush is picking at his nose, and then talk for 4 hours. Yes, we'll have the booger discourse on Vaush.
Let's continue.
And
I hope this, like, I didn't realize this was this long, chat. I'm sorry. I always make really long videos. I don't mean to.
Ah, I like this one. I've addressed this one in the past, but I'll address it again. Amphi76 says, I see his take as a linguistic one. Pronouns are meant to be shorthand to refer to someone without having to use a name. Technically, a neopronoun that is specific to you is not technically a pronoun anymore because the utility is lost. No, it isn't. That's not true. I don't like that argument. I talked about this in my other neopronoun video in a much more solid way. That's what you think the value of a pronoun is. But people have different...
Now, chat, I really wanted to do both of her videos tonight just to get the, you know, like, she sounds like she's talked about more than just this. And to be fair, Demonmama was pretty good on this issue, right? That's why we're watching it. We're not watching it to dunk on her, right? Like, I mean, it'd be awesome if she would apologize, but, you know, that's on her. You know, what kind of mama she wants to be, right? But it's, you know, she's a good resource on a lot of the stuff. You know, I don't have a problem with a lot of her takes, actually. I think the only thing that we really disagree with is NCC bad, and Adam Rainstopper did nothing wrong. I think that's a spicy take, Demonmama. That's a spicy take. I'm not sure you could really defend that take, Meister, but if you'd like to defend my Stalker in a debate, my Discord is open to you anytime. If you'd like to tell me why exactly Adam Rainstopper did nothing wrong, as you said.
Value judgments for what a pronoun is good for. Okay? They do. They have different value judgments for that. Pronouns have multiple uses. Pronouns aren't...
Utility is lost. I mean, that would be true if the pronoun is longer than the name. Oh, yeah, we were talking about this. Like, so some people have complained about, like those pronouns being, you know, like, not super common or having, you know, issues using Doe's pronouns. Doe's name is one syllable, so, you know, if people want to, you know, if people have an aversion to using it's like that, I think, you know, it's anyway. Is that what we're talking about? Fuck, I might have just gotten completely. Doe shortened React content on Remy Destiny debate. It skipped through the video and commented, hey, there's Destiny, and now he is talking to Remy. Now he is alone again.
Just shorthand. Pronouns are a factor of self-expression. Now, for some people, they don't care. Some people literally use any all pronouns because it doesn't matter to them, and that's cool. If you don't care and you want to use any all pronouns, that's fucking great. But for other people, those pronouns are a matter of self-expression, just like a nickname.
Where was this Demonmama when Dylan Burns came a-knockin'? Where was this Demonmama when Dylan Burns insisted on using the wrong pronouns for me? I don't know, chat. I don't know. That's why I really question. Like, it's like she stands up for trans people conditionally, and she's only as good as her clout daddies will let her be, right? She is not her own mama yet. That's a choice that she has to make.
Imagine if we're gonna stick, and I'm trying to be good faith here, you know I am, if we're gonna stick with Vaush comparing them to nicknames, how would you feel if you told someone your nickname and your nickname was like, I don't know, Demonmama or something like that, or Vaush, and that was your nickname, and somebody just said, well, you already have a name, why do you need another one? Why don't we just use the name your parents gave you? You already have one, why do you need another one? Doesn't that destroy the linguistic value of your legal name? And it's like, no, it doesn't. I want you to use my name because it's a factor of identity.
Yeah, that is a weird argument, for sure.
And equivocating that with people literally making a gender by creating a new one, by typing it and putting it in Gender Wiki, and then saying they're that, and then saying people are transphobes for not respecting it.
Hot take, everybody creates a new gender. Vaush's version of being a man which, as far as I know, he still identifies as a man. Vaush's version of being like a man is completely different from anyone else who has ever been a man before. We all do. That's how social constructs are. That's how arbitrary social constructs work.
That feels odd to me. And it feels like if somebody wanted to be...
That's important. And that's what's lost in the reductivism of this weird champ gender binary shit. Like that, like you got two things, like two boxes, binary. Why fucking binary? Like there's very little in nature that is truly binary, right? The only thing I can think of is like the spin of an electron or something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm so deep in the fucking lost in the sauce here as far as the metaphor goes, but like it's just like what she's pointing out is that Vaush's expression of madness is unique. And therefore, although I guess you can classify it with these other expressions of madness, it should be seen as more than that. And it should be remarked that it needs to be remarked that that the Chad-gendered Vaush expression is very, oh god, I can't do it. I was trying to do the ContraPoints character from like the is it Lady Foppington or something? I can't remember their name, but anyway, yeah. It's unique. Vaush's expression of manliness is unique, and so is, you know, my expression of femininity, and you know, everybody's gender expression is in addition to maybe being classifiable by a construct, is also unique. And that is what we're trying to explore here. That is what we're trying to open up here.
A shit, they could do that with any identity they have. I'm not an alpha male, I'm alpha gendered. If you disrespect me on that, you're being a transphobe. And imagine, and by the way, didn't I just make the joke about Chad gender? Oh my god, chat. I don't know, it's kind of... Because will this not happen in the next 12 months?
Very coincidental.
Will it not? Somebody's gonna be like, oh, you make fun of alpha males? I'm alpha gender. What, do you have a problem with that? I identify as an alpha, a person who has a set of characteristics like being, you know, aggressive and domineering.
It won't. It won't. Nobody would, like engage with it if it happens and when it does, and who cares? Okay, let's do a real quick thing here. Let's do an exercise. Okay. I'm gonna pretend that I am arguing with somebody real quick who's an alpha male gender or alpha gender, okay? They come up and they go,
okay,
my
I can't
name
do it.
is Todd.
I'm totally
and I'm
alpha.
An alpha male
I'm totally
gender.
alpha. Come
what
on.
say you to that, leftist? And I would say, cool, bro. Cool. Are you cool with me calling you bro? And he'd be like, yes, of course I'm fine with you calling me bro, though I prefer sir. And I'd be like, all right, sir. Sounds cool, buddy. That sounds great. And then he would go, aren't you triggered, liberal? And I would go, no, I'm not. And he goes, well, what if I tell you to call me Alpha? And then I would call Alpha. Bam. Cancellation avoided. Whoa! I just Neo the Matrix stopped the bullets. Did you see that? I just fucking all of the bullets stopped and then just fell onto the ground. And I was like, wow, that was hard. It was super difficult.
Well, I mean, and then sometimes you need to make a deal with Agent Smith, I guess.
Let's continue.
I mean, that steak is pretty... It may not be real, but it is pretty good, right, Demonmama?
Thanks, music combo. I appreciate it. I take this very seriously.
We're talking about
teaching people
archetypes.
is something that I value. I even have a tattoo about it. Want to see the back? Look. Here, I'll show it again. Here You'll have to help me. Watch this. I'll show you my tattoo. Give me a second.
Okay, we're getting a little parasocial here. I don't know. Chat, is there much more academic? Is there more that I need to see, or is this just gonna be back tattoos and Is there anything worth because like I mean this is me reacting to a good portion of Demonmama content. I know that she doesn't exactly want me to be reacting to her content, but I think I did so in good faith, chat. I think we can all agree here today that I reacted to Demonmama's content in the best of faith. You know, just like she does with Vaush, you know, just like good faith. As far as I know, this was my favorite bit. Wait, the alpha gender stuff? Oh, alpha gender. Wait, okay, yeah. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm comfortable seeing a back tattoo of that. Feels all weird, champ.
The problem is, like, dude, why the fuck do you find yourself having so much in common with Nazis that you take it on as a gender identity? Like, what?
Okay, I'm assuming that wasn't.
Wait, you can change
Vaush.
I can change your name for you. TGT, I can change your
What?
I can change your name for you. What do you want your name to be changed
no, there
to?
was more
Just
Lady
DM it to me on
Raincloud
Discord.
shit. Oh no, we gotta see this, chat. There's more Lady Raincloud. Wait, was she wasn't saying that to Lady Raincloud, was she?
But if you want to,
Yes, Super Straight is transphobic, not because having your own identity is bad. It's because Super Straight is an identity that is expressed through transphobia. The identity of being a Super Straight is Vontic says, is he sticking to this so hard? I don't know. I just think that maybe it could be. I don't know. I don't really care to psychologize. I don't really know why. I just disagree with his take. I don't think I need to figure it out. What is a pole psyop and what happened? Go watch my Kink at Pride, my Ironclad Kink at Pride video. Somebody link the Ironclad Kink at Pride.
They're talking about how a website spread the image that wasn't at a Pride event. It was at a like at a leather event or something like that. Somebody brought their kid to one of these leather events, and they were, you know, standing close to somebody in leather, and it was photographed, and it was lied about. It was decontextualized. It was represented as having come from a Pride event, and given as a reason that, like, to start the moral panic known as Kink at Pride of this past summer, right? So that's what she's talking about.
Let's go.
the difference there is that that person would clearly be being insincere. Wait, what difference does that make? Since when have leftists cared about the perceived sincerity with which people identify as a gender?
Wait, always. Fucking always. Of course. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, see you later, Comrade Owo. Thanks for sticking around. So, hold on a second. Oh, wait, I need to rewind. I just got square brained. Hold on, let's see.
Wait, chat, what is square brain? Please, somebody in chat, describe square brain for me. I don't know this. This seems like a term that I maybe I get square brain too. I don't know.
Sincere? Wait, what difference does that make? Since when have leftists cared about the perceived sincerity with which people identify as a gender? Do you do that?
Wait a minute. Okay. Fucking wait a minute. No. All the time. We do this to Steven Crowder all the time. You look at Steven Crowder and you see that he puts out 900 videos about hating trans people, and then he does one video where he pretends to be a stereotype of a trans person, and you go, dude, this guy's a fraud. Everyone cares about that. It's just that I believe, for an example, that we should lower that bar. We should lower it really low, because I don't think that we should try and police people's self-expression outside of obvious cases of clear bad faith, like with Steven Crowder. Now, if tomorrow Steven Crowder did a video where it's like, guys, I was really fucking wrong about this, I'm trans, then so be it.
I was mentioning this earlier,
This is
yeah.
silly.
That with trans women, do you go, oh, I think it's a phase for them? No, you don't. You're operating off intuition for now.
And Vaush, wait, this is silly. God, Vaush contradicted himself a lot in this argument. Like a lot of times in this specific
blockheaded?
argument, he is doing
What
that
is
to
blockheaded?
people with neopronouns.
Oh, your mind goes
He's
blank.
saying
Okay,
their gender
okay.
isn't important enough that we should consider it important.
You just think the alpha gender things feels silly, but in reality, your ideology has holes all over it. Not every identity has to be a gender.
No one is saying that, though. No one is saying that. Oh, look, people are bringing up the RGR DM debate. I addressed this at the time of the RGR DM debate. There's a Valheim stream where I went into a long, like hour-long hypothetical with a call-in. I did call-ins. God, it's been fucking forever since it's been forever since I've done a call-in stream. But yeah, like straight up, during the Valheim stream, right after the RGR conversation, I had like an hour long where I sat down and just had a good faith conversation with somebody who was testing me with these types of hypotheticals, who was basically...
Every time somebody says, like, Valheim, I think they're gonna say Valve. Does chat know about Valve? Chat, tell me, do you know about Valve? Do you understand the primordial terror that is the eldritch god known as Valve? The ancient one.
He was saying, okay, so what if Steven Crowder says she's trans tomorrow? And then I said, then that's great for Steven Crowder. That's the world that we want to push for. I don't know. Whatever. Let's continue. We'll do call-ins in the future. Don't worry. When I'm back, we're definitely doing that.
I don't share your perception. I think that the validity of identity...
By the way, I haven't done a single shill. Donate if you want to support my show. Subscribe if you...
We're talking about a magical beast, which is half Vaush and half Alf. Imagine... Imagine if Vaush's, like, nose and mouth became elongated and like they kind of formed together into his snout, a rugged snout with like different little dimples in it, right? And it just like his chin elongated too, and it was just like all of a sudden his face got covered in fur and he became Valve, half Vaush, half Alf. Fully terrifying. That is what we're talking about, okay? This is you know, this is some straight up what's the dude's name? Oh my god, what is the dude's name? The scary guy. Scary. What is the scary guy's name? What is his name?
If you want to support my show, subscribe on YouTube if you want to catch my awesome...
I couldn't remember Lovecraft. I was like, what is the dude? The scary dude. The typical... Lovecraft. That's what I'm looking for, is Lovecraft. Yes. Lovecraftian.
Past videos, we're going to have a whole bunch going out. And like the stream. Thank you. How do we find sincerity in something as individualistic as gender identity? What if somebody wanted to be Nazi self in good faith? Well then, I mean, I don't know.
The scary guy.
They really felt that way, but here's the thing.
The scary guy.
I would have a problem not with somebody's the sincerity of their gender identity, but why the fuck they are identifying with a Nazi.
Oh, jeez.
That's the problem. The problem is, like, dude, why the fuck do you find yourself having so much in common with Nazis that you take it on as a gender identity?
To Nazis? Oh, that's what Lady Cloud's saying. Like, Nazis are
Wait,
bad.
you can change your. I can change your name for
Period.
you. TGT. I can change your.
Wait,
your,
who is bringing up the Nazi
I can change your name
thing
for you.
with
What do you
her?
want your name to be changed to? Just DM it to me on Discord.
I hope it's Tentacle Therapist.
These should be weighed on a utilitarian basis, and super straight is transphobic. That's my argument against it. But if you want to,
Yes, super straight is transphobic, not because having your own identity is bad.
Yeah,
It's
maybe she
because
doesn't
Super
interact.
straight
Oh, I thought that
is
maybe
an
there might be another
identity
exchange.
that is expressed through transphobia.
I mean, for all I know, she might be ignoring Lady Clout at this point.
The identity of being a super straight is making an identity out of being transphobic. And making an identity out of being transphobic is bad, even if that's your genuinely expressed identity. This is such a silly argument. This doesn't make any sense. This is a bad argument. I'm really sorry, but this is a bad argument. Violent Smoker, thank you very much for the Prime sub. This is a bad argument.
adopt a holistic all identities are valid perspective, I'm sorry guys, super straight is valid. That's as valid of a sexuality as being homosexual or pansexual.
Oh
If
my
that's
Wait,
the
what the hell?
perspective you're
Oh
taking, then
my
you-
Yes,
god.
Yes, if you're on the website, Javier, if you're on the website, just click.
Hey, no surprise that the guy that misunderstands like the concept of whiteness so extremely that he has a debate like that Professor Flowers debate, it's going to be somebody who, you know, looks at super straight as being just as valid as any of these other Tumblr genders. Yeah, that's pretty fucking trad trash right there. That is some trad trash.
Click the subscribe or donate button at the top of the screen.
Logic, it is a logically, it's deductively a product of the premises that have been laid out. No, I do not. Yes, you do. I'm sorry. I see you, by the way, in chat, Jesse of TGT. I know you're mad about this, but I'm afraid so, yeah.
Oh, that is TGT in Vaush's chat.
Let's see.
What, half of TGT at least. TGT maybe 2 people, I guess, kind of like the Serps.
Yeah, I know. I know TGT.
Why should we not evaluate
Thank you,
genders on a
Javier.
case-by-case utilitarian basis? Because if we did that, we would cut out all of these genders on GenderWiki.
Oh, really? See, I think this is the thing. Honestly, okay. Honestly, here we go. Okay? Two things to talk about this. First of all, the first part of this argument is it's icky and I don't like it. And the second part of it is that Vaush assumes, or that Vaush's understanding of gender is that he's looking for a framework that says, here are the genders you can be. You can be man, woman, or third. And I know that's not what he's intending to communicate.
Oh,
but
that's
ultimately
irrelevant.
the argument that
That's
he's making
basically
by saying
irrelevant.
that we would have to get rid of genders
Relevant. I'm sorry, I said
if we accepted
relevant.
that
It's
that,
relevant, Chad.
like,
That's
there
how
are
it's
certain
pronounced. It's
cases where the gender
relevant.
we might consider a gender to be
It's got, like, an
invalid on
extra
different
beat on
axes. Like, what if I identified as murderer gender? The problem wouldn't be me asserting my identity. The problem would be me making an identity out of murder. It's the harm. I don't know why this is such an issue. This was an issue with Kink at Pride as
True,
well, and that there's no
Roast
assessment
yeah.
of harm. Where is the harm? Where is the harm in any of these things? We can recognize harm in somebody identifying as Nazi self because they are identifying with
Heckin' valid.
a genocidal ideology. That's the problem, is identifying with a genocidal ideology, not asserting your identity.
That's why. Because there's no utility in constructing a gender when what you really mean is a title. What does star gender mean? It doesn't mean anything.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. What does star gender mean? Ask a star gender person. Ask a star gender person.
Okay.
Why didn't you ask the star gender person? You just because this is an argument from ignorance. I don't know what star gender is, therefore it must be stupid. Ask the star gender person. This is basic human respect.
It's a title. It's a word and nothing
He's
else.
sweaty.
What is a woman or
He's
a
a
man?
sweaty man.
Well, you can tie that back
Sweaty
to a huge
man.
range of social expectations.
Oh, and have you ever considered maybe the star gender has just as much of an encyclopedic explanation for why they're star gender as you do for why you're man gender?
Boy just
Boy gender, man. It's true. It's funny how stupid it sounds the moment you change it from being man and woman to man gender and woman gender. Or boy gender and girl gender. You can make a lot of things sound stupid by saying them in stupid ways. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, but I don't think it makes sense to do so, and I think it's contradictory with his other positions music combo.
There's some utility in having terms to describe them, even if you want to pull it apart. It doesn't matter. Then if it doesn't matter, then you're not making utilitarian argument, in which case, congratulations. Welcome, super straights. You can't...
Again, super straight is problematic because they are identifying with... They are building an identity around transphobia, and that is a bad thing to do. And the reason why it's a bad thing to do is because it harms people. This is silly. This is such a silly non-argument.
You have to understand,
Okay,
it's not a stun lock. This is a logical contradiction in the behavior of the online...
It's a stun lock. It's a stun lock. You got stun lock.
Chat, sorry about the noise.
left. There are two distinct and incompatible positions you have to adopt here. Either you use sort of utilitarian judgment to determine whether or not an identity should be called a gender.
No.
In which case you can reject super straights and alpha genders, or sigma genders.
No.
Or you just accept everyone, in which case you have to accept them as well. Any arguments that you would make against them could
That
be
is what we call... Hey, excuse me, you've committed the false dichotomy. That is a fallacy of false dichotomy, my dear friend.
Okay.
I've got you. I've got you. You've fallen into my trap card. I'm sorry. I'm probably ripping your ears open.
Oh my god.
No, that's not true. That's a false dichotomy. There are other things you can do.
Meow.
I've displayed it in this
Hey,
stream.
what's up, Omega
You can
lol?
say people have the right to assert their
Omega?
identity, and you can still say your identity
Yo,
is
Omega.
fucking stupid because it's built around being a Nazi. You can do that. That's not one of two positions. That's another position that he's created a false dichotomy out of.
Or shall I say Omega
against
Troll?
the myriad genders that NeoPronoun types adopt.
Okay, music combo. Well, how broken do you think the argument xenogenders are valid, but they should be labeled something other than gender because they're a different aspect of identity is? I just don't think it's a very compelling argument. And the reason why I don't think it's a and I don't think it's a very compelling argument because who are you to say that? Fucking who cares? It's their choice. If they think that gender is the best way
Sigma gender.
to do it, then like who are you to make that decision? Come on. Lava Monster, thank you very much for the
Troll
4
gender.
tier 1 subs. Thanks for the challenging discussions and also fun memeing. Best of luck with whatever the secret thing is. You're gonna love it, I promise. I feel like Vaush is becoming a bit essentialist when it comes to optics. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll get to the Antifa take. I don't know. We're at 8 hours,
Oh,
so we might have to
jeez.
stop, but we'll see.
Oh
Let's
no! Oh no, Vaush! Don't tell. Wait. Chat. I haven't even heard this. Chat. Is
Is this different from the...
the Antifa take what I think it is? Is he basically agreeing with Destiny on this? Please tell me that's not. Oh my god.
attack helicopter meme? I'm a bit confused.
Javier, thank you.
Listen, Vaush, if there's one person on the internet who can actually cancel you, it's Gritty. Please don't fuck with Gritty.
Very much for the $20. Sincere thanks for giving me a lot more to
Please don't fuck with Gritty.
consider on this topic and your arguments on this topic and responses to me. Everyone deserves respect for their identity, gender included. Much love to you too. Thank you very much for supporting me, Javier. I really appreciate that. I'm really happy this has been a valuable conversation. That's what I try to do. That's seriously what I try to do. I try to make nuance, bring nuance into this in an entertaining and valuable way. And also good faith.
Fortunately, the attack helicopter meme is trending towards reality right now. I'd hoped this wouldn't happen, but yeah, there are
Wait,
people
is he reading chat? What the fuck is
on
that?
the left who are unironically arguing that identity should supersede.
Yeah, Destiny had a take on it was the. Oh my god. I don't know if I want to talk about this. Like, we get this video demonetized. If
categorical definitions.
I mean, I have already mentioned gritty, so yeah.
No, they're not. No. I could make this argument. I can make this argument really easily. Watch this. Okay. I'm gonna explain why this is wrong. Okay? I'm gonna explain why Vaush is wrong here really, really clearly. This is literally the RGR conversation. Okay? Are you ready? Okay. Somebody who is deer gender is not claiming that they are a deer. Okay? They are saying their gender expression is inspired by deer. Okay? Somebody who is attack helicopter gender is not saying they are an attack helicopter. They're saying that their gender identity is inspired by an attack helicopter. Maybe they walk around wearing armor pads and they have tattoos on their face that have like military serial numbers or something, and they're totally into that. Okay? Hey, now, if there is somebody who is claiming, I am an attack helicopter, that is a different claim. That is a different claim than the claim of people saying that genders are valid. You are making a claim about something that can be categorically defined that you aren't.
Leave it to debate bros to misapprehend metaphor.
But gender can't be categorically defined. It can't be. Do you see how I was able to respond to that argument very easily? Because I've had this argument before. I had it before with RGR. This is sounding like Jordan Peterson? What do you mean by that? As a person who didn't have a word to describe being non-binary for years, I had to construct a complex mental scaffold to explain it to myself. And that's why I relate to xenogender, and it's, for me, is definitely about gender. Yeah. Absolutely. Anyway, the point of what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say is, I tried to bring up the point during the stream how many neurodivergent people internalize gender differently from neurotypical people, but Vaush didn't understand it at all. Autigender is a real thing, and guess what? If you have a little bit of compassion and you listen, it actually makes sense. It actually makes a lot of sense. I've talked to somebody who identifies with the term autigender because, and you might cringe at that, I don't fucking care. You can fucking suck my cock because here we do things with our brain and not with our cringe. Okay? But if somebody identifies with
our brain and not with our cringe, okay.
That, they probably have a reason for it. I can see where you're coming.
Oh, okay, I see what she's saying. She means, like, we think with our, we actually consider something rather than just, like, reacting to it, like, oh, that's cringe, right? That makes sense. Okay. I literally, like,
I think that's a little...
I didn't get it for a second, but I think I understand what she meant now.
But harsh, Jack, but I can see where you're coming from. TGT. A friend of TGT, Marionette, finds this really meaningful, donating on fair behalf. Hey! Hell yeah! Fucking hell yeah. Thank you so much, TGT. Let's continue.
No, they're a severe minority, but God help me. God help me if I ever have to defend this in front of an audience. It's not a big deal, though.
And God help you. No. Demonmama help you. Demonmama help you if you should ever have to defend this in front of an audience, because I can
listen, if I ever need to muster those weird champs, I know who to call, okay? I know where to find them.
Teach you. I could teach you how to defend this in front of an audience. I have, and I am.
Logical contradictions in an ideology are a big deal. They're a huge...
You haven't displayed a logical inconsistency yet, Vaush. This has just been Feels arguments. You don't like it, and you think it might become a problem in the future, even though it's not a problem right now by your own admission. You haven't made any sort of logical inconsistency arguments. This was the thing. This is what happened with RGR, and I'm not comparing Vaush here because I think Vaush is doing this significantly better than RGR did, but this same crux was reached, okay? The same crux was reached, which is that RGR asserted that there was logical fallacies in my understanding of gender, but was not able to provide them.
And didn't really understand formal logic despite having employed it, right? Like, in a word, like, Avi actually understood. Like, it was really funny because, like, now I sort of know where that came from. It's like she was watching Abby and probably didn't quite understand what Abby was doing and tried to kind of like, I want to be like Abby, right? And constructed a formal logic proposition, I guess, that was like just so fucked up. Like, it's just like, that's not how it even works. And I was like thinking that. I was like, wait a minute. I learned it at some point, Chad. I learned formal logic and I don't remember shit about it, right? Really. But like, I was like thinking to myself, this doesn't sound right, but like, I guess if RGR says it's right, there's a weird appeal to authority because RGR is a law student that people are like, well, she must be pretty based, like on when she's talking about logic and stuff, she knows that stuff backwards and forwards. No, she does not. There's a lot of shit with RGR that is just pure fucking cringe, okay? And she seems like the kind of sussy baka we need to cover. We haven't covered RGR. What has RGR been up to? What kind of weird champing is she onto these days? Chat, we should check in with RGR sometime soon.
Just asserted that they were there. But they're not.
Huge deal. My job is to defend these ideas to audiences of millions. It is not acceptable to me to just shrug and say, oh.
I do not want to identify as human 90% of the time. Yo, me too. Do you know how fucking alienated from the general of humanity, the general human population I feel? Trust me, you're not alone in that. There's a reason why I fucking...
Yeah, I don't know a lot about what RGR is up to these days, except that she, like... What did she do? She dropped all of her follows on Twitter, and then followed, like, Jordan Peterson and, like, Ben Shapiro, and, like, all these... Like, I honestly think she's, like, just kind of a right-winger now. Like, from as... I can't be 100% certain, right? But, like, it's what it's sounding like. I don't know. Unless there's another explanation, chat. She has gone hard right. And, like, a lot of Leftwich kind of has at least, like, had a rightward turn, chat. Like, what's happening right now is that the Clout networks have secured a lot of control over Twitch politics, right? And people that are just like putting their finger in the wind and seeing which way the wind is blowing, they're seeing how beneficial it is to, kind of just like shift rightward, right? Because that is the winner of the Dylan Burns the whole shit show Dylan Burns Prime Kai that went down was the Prime Kai faction, which is decidedly right wing, whereas Dylan is only like useful to the right wing by accident. The alliances that comprise that network are fundamentally pull it in a right wing direction, and often a covert right wing direction, often a hidden right wing direction, often a right wing direction that tries to intermesh itself enough with the left in order to use it as a puppet. And so a lot of your lefty content creators on Twitch right now are really not what they seem.
Love monster creatures and stuff like that.
To the extent that left-wingers exist in that orbit, they exist because they're useful to the Clout network. In other words, they are, playing for the other team. I don't know how else to say it.
Oh, there's an inconsistency in this ideology, but whatever, it's not harming anyone at the moment. Small problems now, in the future, can cause larger problems.
Yeah, and sorry, this is gonna sound a little bad faith, and I apologize. I know that Vaush isn't intending this, but guess what? Yeah, for now, you let gay people get married, and in the future, you're marrying your dog. Small problem, kids. You let kids be a xenogender on Tumblr now, and years down the line, you got a Zer Happy Meal. Dude, come on. Come on, dude. I'm sorry. I'm being mean,
Old
but...
man yelling at Cloud.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wow, okay.
It's
I'm
important
impressed.
to be able to understand these things. Are you anti-intellectuals? Are you sincerely satisfied
Vosh!
with, oh, well, it doesn't make sense, but whatever.
Oh,
it's not
Vosh
hurting
getting triggered
anyone?
by chat
Is that
now.
seriously the limit of your imagination? Can you not fathom a future where something like this becomes an issue? Damn slippery.
I know. Doesn't a Caesar Happy Meal sound pog?
Sloping it. This isn't a slippery slope.
This is
a slippery.
It is a slippery slope. You're making a slippery slope argument. You're saying if we let the kids be Caesar gender on Tumblr now, in the future, it
We're
could
gonna have a Happy Meal to deal with. We're gonna have a. What are we gonna do, chat? Can we muster the weird champs when the Happy Meal, the Caesar Happy Meal comes out?
have repercussions for all of society. Yes, it is. This is a slippery...
Are we gonna be able to muster those weird champs, chat? I want to know. Demonmama, will you have the weird champs to muster at that point? What are we gonna do if we can't muster the weird champs?
slope argument. I'm sorry, this is just a slippery slope argument.
Slope is when you unjustifiably say that a set of positions will degrade into other related but worse positions.
Which you have done. You have unjustifiably stated here that a set of conditions will degrade into worse conditions. It's a slippery slope argument. I'm sorry. Thank you, Votimus. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
The existing position right now, the current thing, not a slope, the thing we're on, is presently logically untenable.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat, you aren't even fucking listening to me. You're just mad.
Hans, oof, oof, oof.
You think that I'm rejecting the basis of self-identity, which is the
I'll talk to Hans about this too if you want.
opposite of what I'm doing. I'm accepting self-identity and saying we should have a way of logically differentiating between what we designate as genders and what we don't. If you...
But that's the problem, Vaush. That's the problem with gender, is it's impossible to do so. It's almost impossible to do so. The moment that you do, you run into the issue of fucking it up. This is the problem. This is the thing with gender. This is why we talk about gender abolitionism. Because gender is fucked. And so when something is that fucked, you say, wait a second, this is actually something that is an arbitrary standard that people express their agency with. Therefore, we should accept their ability to express their agency via it. Cripplepunk with the tier 1 sub, thank you so much. Thank you for simply existing, DM. I think people should identify however they want. It doesn't hurt anyone. It validates those who need it. I agree.
want to think everything is a gender, then fine. We have sailor genders who like sailing, and gamer genders who like gaming. And by the way, being gamer...
I mean, listen, I kind of want sailor gender, not gonna lie. Okay, do you know, like, Josuke from JoJolion, from JoJo Part 6? Sailor gender, yeah. Yeah, unironically. No, I'm here for that, okay? I'm here for that. I am so here for that shit. I mean, chat, not 2, but 4. 4. If you read that manga, you know what I'm talking about.
Gender has a hell of a lot more social connotation.
Does anybody in chat know any JoJo readers? Probably,
and
probably
guess
not.
what? Oh, we have. Well, you're just gonna have kids making up shit like pansexual. We already had a word for that, dude. It's called bisexual. Do you see how that argument doesn't work? Do you see how that fucking argument doesn't work?
Bro, sign me up for gamer gender. Moby Dick gender. Oh hell yeah. The most oppressed gender. Yeah,
I can
gamer
promise
gender.
you that. Being a gamer is way more of a gender than Astro whatever, okay?
Who are you
Not
to
that
say
far
that?
into JoJo.
Who are you to say that? I know he's being
Yeah, that's all the way in. That one might even say that's balls deep into JoJo.
spicy here, and
Oh my
I'm trying
God.
to remember, like, I'm trying not to treat this as if this was a segment, but he's being spicy here. But still, come on. Yeah, I know they do it. I know. Netspace says people literally did that to me when I came out as pansexual. Yes, I know, because this argument sucks. This is a weak argument.
We have those genders, and we can have carpenter genders, and we can have this, and we can have that, and we can have et cetera, et cetera. And if you want that,
Yes.
then congratulations.
Guess what? What am I right now, folks? I'm dressed in fucking flannel shit. I'm fucking lumbergender. I'm gonna stream for a little longer, but we're already at 8.5 hours, so I'm gonna have to stop soon because I'm really tired.
Now every
Wait,
identity...
the real Moby Dick? Wait, what? Moby Dick was based on a true story? Oh my god. What? Oh my god, tell me more, Omega Lol, tell me more. Why is he so afraid of diversity? Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Fuck you if you disagree.
Identity has to be respected or you're transphobic.
Ah, it'll throw you in jail for even saying you're English. Hold on a second. There's a thing for this. Hold on.
There's always a thing. It's a whole ass thing, chat. It's a whole ass thing.
Where is it here? What? Chud was watching it earlier. Chud was watching this earlier. What the fuck? Somebody who was watching Chud stream earlier. Who was the comedian? Who is the
Louis C.K.? Are we talking about Chud's favorite comedians? What are we talking about, chat? What are we talking about? Who's the comedian? I don't want to know. It's fucking... Is it Bill Cosby or Louis C.K.? What is Chud's favorite comedian?
comedian that did this? Who was it? Who
It's
was it? What was the
Stuart Lee.
comedian? I need it. I need it. It's so fitting. What was the comedian? Who? Somebody was watching Chud Logic earlier and knows. No, hold on. Here we go. I got it. I got it. No, wait, that's not the one. Stuart Lee. Ah, Stuart Lee. Stuart Lee. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it.
Again, I was making a number of kind of crass generalizations.
Play. Play, damn it. Play. Stupid YouTube bullshit. No, just DM me, Vicky P.
Again, I was making a number of kind of.
Looks like Demonmama got the great value streamer deal. It's not the one. Oh, great. There's like, is there a worse one? What are we watching, Demonmama?
This isn't the one.
Considered the highest.
Hold on, this
What
isn't
is
the one.
this?
This isn't the one. Is it this one?
Oh my god, we
Maybe it's
had to
this one.
watch that for no reason. What the fuck?
Sexuality or whatever. And what is?
I can't find it. No, it's this guy. This is the guy. I just don't know where the actual clip is. Fuck it. Ah, God fucking
You
damn.
gotta DM Chud
Damn it.
for that.
Anyway, the joke goes like this, okay? I'm gonna tell you the joke, okay? Oh shit, that shit is copyrighted
Or maybe you should have somebody do it for you.
apparently. Alright, I'm glad I stopped it, okay? Listen. Listen. It goes like this. He goes, you're talking to the taxi driver, and the taxi driver...
Isn't this what chat's for? To do this shit for you? To like be like, hey, you know, somebody DMs Chud Logic. What was that? Where was that video? Where was that clip from?
goes, you know, they'll throw you in jail just for saying that you're English. And then he goes, in jail, just for saying you're English. And he goes, yeah, they'll throw you in jail just for saying you're English these days. And he goes, in jail for saying you're English. They'll throw you in jail just for saying you're English. And he goes, yeah,
my
they'll
God.
throw you in jail just for saying you're English.
okay.
He goes, they're going to throw you in jail just for saying you're English? For saying you're English. He goes, yeah, in jail. They'll throw you in jail just for saying you're English. Really? They'll throw you in jail just for being English. For saying you're English. He goes, for saying you're English, they'll throw you in jail. And that's the joke. And that's basically what's happening here. They'll cancel you for saying that Nazi gender isn't valid. They'll cancel you for saying Nazi gender isn't valid? Yeah, they'll cancel you for saying Nazi gender isn't valid. For saying Nazi gender isn't valid, they'll cancel you for saying Nazi gender isn't valid. Yeah, for saying Nazi gender isn't valid, they'll cancel you. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. It's like, who the fuck is doing this? It's just not. It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Cancelled. Yes, exactly.
You realize that, right?
Not to be a joke scold.
If you acknowledge that people can ascribe the
Okay, wait. What was the punchline? What did you leave out? What was the punchline?
the mantra of a gender to an identity, then denying people the sincerity of that becomes transphobia.
No.
Right?
No.
Perhaps I should find individual people and ask them their opinions on this. Hold on. Who stands? Who yet stands?
Me. I stand.
Can't trust any of you. All the people who disagree with me don't actually want to get picked on. And I can't actually tell if you're... No. Stop.
I stand.
Let's just follow this point by point, right?
Okay, let's see.
Let's start somewhere where we all agree, okay? Let's start somewhere we all agree, okay? It's transphobic to say that a trans woman is a man. Can we start there? It's a left-leaning channel. I'd like to believe we could at least...
Yes.
This is...
And why is it transphobic? Because you're denying their self-asserted self-identity of womanhood, which we agree can be self-asserted. That's why it's transphobic. It's transphobic.
Wait, she botched a joke? Well, that's a rare occurrence. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's like the master of all humor, right? She's the original joke scold. You're telling me that she botched a joke? No. Chat, are you being bad faith? Are you being bad faith to Demonmama here? She who never botches a joke?
Word that we've come up with for discriminating against a trans person.
Can't even steal that one.
Because you're denying their right to self-identify as they please. Polaire, thank you so much for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. All the best to Demonmama and fam. Looking forward to the grand return.
Yeah, Demonmama, I'm looking for more jokes to steal. Come on, you gotta do better than that.
And the return indeed will be grand.
You gotta feed the centipede. You gotta feed the human centipede, Demonmama. You gotta make that shit go round and round like a large hadron collider.
Let's continue.
The most sure-footed
Or an
position from which a
Ouroboros.
person can
Okay,
stand.
let's see.
Okay.
Let's listen to this. Let's hear this out.
Now,
Ouroboros?
do you believe that it's
Ouroboros?
Now let's extend this beyond the binary. Is it transphobic to say that a non-binary AFAB person is a woman?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes.
To me, yes.
Correct.
This is an easy yes. This isn't a step forward, it's the same step. You're still on the exact same step. You've just moved the other foot up onto that step. It's the same step. Okay.
Yes,
So with
I
all
agree.
that being said, now, I'm not going to ask you this. I'm only going to say, do you acknowledge, we acknowledge that this is a thing that's happening. People are creating new gender identities.
Hey, here's a secret. You ready? Watch this. Hold on. I can stop it right here, and I can break Vaush's argument. Elak Kaval with the $10. This might be my last stream I catch live in months. I love this community, but I have to volunteer across the country. Thank you so much for cultivating an amazing community that I feel a part of. Elak Kaval, Elak, I want you to know that I consider you a friend. So, please, be well. Please stay in contact with me. Let's send pathologic memes back and forth. Elak Kaval with the $10. Belak Kaval, the Pogged King himself. Much love to you, Elak. It's going to be worth it, and please try to stay connected. We would miss the hell out of you, okay? We will miss the hell out of you, but I know you'll be back, and I'll still be here, okay? I'll still be here kicking, okay? I ain't no fucking... What do you think I am? You think I'm motherfucking...
Massively parasocial at this point. I can't watch anymore, so thank you everybody for being here. This was, you know, I mean, she's based when it comes to this issue. She's based when it comes to a lot of issues. Like I said, if it weren't for the Clout networks that she's a part of, I think I'd have no problems being friends with her. But, you know, as you all know, history is history, and she fucking needs to apologize. That being said, much love to my cat cult, okay? Moe Kyun! Okay, I gotta, like, coordinate that better, so I Moe Kyun at the same time as I stop the stream. Much love, chat.